After yesterday's day off, the Bourne Braves are back in action here at Veterans Field to take on the Chatham Anglers. Hello and welcome to pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm Gotkin alongside Nathan Schwartz and Cam Manna. And Nathan, yesterday was day 3 in the MLB draft. We saw a lot more Bravos taken. And the big thing that really stands out to me, and I think a lot of people from the draft this year, is not just the amount of Braves in general drafted, but the amount of guys that were on this 2024 team.
Yeah, 10 guys drafted that were on this year's squad, including Ben Hartle, who was just taking at-bats the other day before the off day. That was the only active player on Bourne's roster that was selected. But out of those entire 24 that were drafted, which is tied for the most out of any Cape team this year, the fact that you had 10 guys that were on this year's team, I think speaks a whole lot about just the talent recruitment that Coach Landers and this entire coaching staff has. And the 24 guys in total just speaks a testament to the reason why Bourne brought home 2 back-to-back trophies.
Well, it absolutely does, and this team's trying to get back into the win column today after a 2-game skid before the off day, and to do that, they're going to need a quality start from Chase Meyer.
And they've gotten the quality starts so far. You look at these back-to-back games, Bourne has only allowed 2 runs total, and the starting pitching has got it done. The bullpen, they've gone deep. They've done their job. We saw Chase Meyer in that 6-0 shutout win against Hyannis. He came in for 2 innings, showed a lot of fire in that rainy, and we saw the standoff in the bullpen. There was a lot going on, but he did a good job then. Already pitched against this Chatham team that's going to look very different. They've lost, and they've changed a lot of different things in the roster, but went 1 cleaning back in the 29th, so a guy from the bullpen role to the starting role, looking for a quality start once again.
And he's going to need a lot of help today from the bats, an offense that has been
hard.
Thanks. That's Camden Coastal there. And we're going to need a lot of help here today from the bats, who had an incredible 3-game stretch, but kind of fell off the last couple of days.
Yeah, only one run in each of the last 2 games, I should say. And the pitching's been there, right? 7 runs given up in the last 2 games, a 4-1 loss and a 3-1 loss. So really just looking to get the offense back on track today. You get a new addition with Ben Hartle leaving, Chase Meggers from Oregon into this lineup, and he's going to bat third right off the bat. Ethan Conrad not in the lineup today, so we'll see how that affects the Bourne lineup as well.
Well, we'll see the new guy Meggers in the first inning. You don't want to go anywhere. First pitch coming up soon here from Veterans Field. Adam Gotkin here with Davis Gillespie out of Southern Miss ahead of Bourne taking on Chatham. Davis, you guys had the off day yesterday. How important is it to have those days off to reset when you're in the midst of a summer where you're playing games pretty much every single day?
Oh, they're crucial. They're almost as important as the games themselves because, playing 6 days a week up here isn't the easiest, so getting a day off is always important for your body.
How different is it playing 6 days a week every single day here during the summer than at school when you're only really playing on the weekends and a midweek every once in a while?
Yeah, it's definitely a different approach, like you said, 6 games here, 4 at school ball. So it's all about finding a consistent routine that you can get in, keep your body and your mind at its best shape every day.
And there were 10 guys who played on the team this year drafted over the last couple of days. Have you ever, taken a step back and kind of realized how cool it is, how special it is up here yet?
Yes, for sure. I can't take it for granted because, this is the best league in the country for collegiate baseball players. My roommate, Nolan Sparks, just got drafted. It's just surreal how I was living with him the other week.
It is pretty crazy up here. Another thing, this team has had a pretty interesting last week. You guys had potentially the 3 best offensive games of the season and then a couple rough ones. What goes into just trying to turn it back around and get back to where you guys were a couple days ago?
I'm not getting too far ahead of ourselves, realizing that, we're a good group of players. A couple games isn't going to define our season, so getting back in it, today will be huge for us.
And today, you're not in the starting lineup, but there's always a chance that you can get in the game at any point. What do you do to try and make sure that you're ready for whenever your name is called?
Just really pay attention to the game, try to learn something even if you're not in it and, get better even then.
All right, well, thank you very much, Davis.
Thank you.
Adam Gotkin now joined by Sean Brennan here on pregame Tomahawk Talk ahead of Bourne taking on Chatham. And Sean, this is a Chatham Anglers team that has been one of the best in the league in the month of July and on fire recently, winning 4 in a row.
They've just been on a tear. Like you said, they won 4 in a row. They're 9-3 in July, so really firing on all cylinders. And it's been just all-around good baseball. They've been top of the league in average on base. They get on base, they steal bases, kind of create havoc. Bourne's a team that leads the league in stolen bases. Well, Chatham isn't far behind. I believe they're in 3rd. And, yeah, their pitching's also very good, a good staff that has a low ERA. So, this is kind of a time where Bourne's playing them where everything's going right for the A's.
And a big part of the pitching success is the guy who's on the mound today for Chatham, someone who's already making his 6th appearance of the season.
Yeah, Tyler Kozera out of UCF. He didn't play a whole lot in this past season, his his freshman year, but he did show some promise when he did play, and he's been very solid here on the Cape in 6 appearances. His last appearance started out good, but towards the end he gave up a couple home runs, inflated that ERA a little bit. He ended up with 4 earned runs against in 6 2/3 innings, so a long outing there. But that shows that Chatham trusts him, and he's definitely been showing what he can do on the Cape.
Well, it should be a really interesting game. First pitch coming up at 7 p.m. here at Veterans Field.
It's game 26 of the Cape League season, and for the first time in exactly a month, the Bravos are back at Veterans Field as the 10-13-2 Bourne Braves take on the 14-11 Chatham Anglers. And we welcome you to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network for tonight's game. Alongside Cam Manna, I'm Nathan Schwartz. Pleased you could be with us here on this dark Wednesday night from Chatham. And Cam, the off day yesterday for the Bravos, the MLB draft comes to a close, but back to what Bourne was doing before the off day, 2 really rough games at the plate.
Yeah, 2 rough games, 2 runs combined in those battles where the pitching staff pitched phenomenally. You only allow 2 runs total, to what you brought to the table in the first 6 innings of games. But look, this Bourne pitching staff has done a good job so far. And this Bourne offense, there has to be more of a sense of urgency early on in these games. We talked about on that last broadcast, in that 9th inning versus Harwich, Bourne did a good job. First base runner on, ground ball right side, sac fly, drive him in. That's the type of offense you want to see early on in this game when you take on a Chatham team that has done everything right so far. They've won 4 straight games. They're outscoring opponents at the moment 34-23 in this 4-game stretch. They have done so much right, and this is a test where you have to turn things around. You can't afford to drop 3 straight here in late July.
They've got 9 wins in the month of July. And just going back and looking at the first 2 times these 2 teams matched up in the month of June, the first game was crazy. It was here in Chatham, a 5-1 Chatham win. They only had 2 hits in that one, but the last time these 2 faced off, Bourne's offense exploded.
Yeah, 10-3 win for the Bravos. A lot was going right for this offense, and that was the stretch for the Braves where you saw this consistent lineup come through and make a lot of different differences. And we'll talk about some of the game changers and the differences that are in this lineup tonight. But it's not been the lack of hits at the moment for this Bourne offense. They've been able to compile hits. We've seen 8 hits on back-to-back nights. It's been the stranded runners. We've seen 16 stranded runners in their last 2 games. That can't happen in this moment. That is kind of a cause of issues that we saw in the first 14 days of the season. That can't come back alive right now with a permanent roster of your best 9 players.
Cam, you mentioned some of those changes. Ben Hartle, most notably, no longer with the team. He was selected in the 14th round of the MLB draft just yesterday by the Texas Rangers, the reigning World Series champions. So enter Chase Meggers, the catcher out of Oregon, who got to Cape Cod this morning, and he's going to bat in the 3 spot tonight. Yeah,
and a great season for the Ducks. .316 hitter, had 8 doubles, hit a big home run against Texas A&M during the regional playoffs and an elimination game. So he brings a lot of good stuff to the table. Good defense. Now you have that second catcher, which you need. It's a must, to have a backup with Adonis Guzman. And Ben Hartle was a guy for the Braves that was getting on base a lot. He was playing first base and catcher, so the replacement was needed, and the replacement came awfully quick with the game coming here tonight.
2 Oregon Ducks in the lineup tonight with Meggers and Mason Neville back in the order for the Bravos. First pitch just about 5 or so minutes away here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network between the Bourne Braves and the Chatham Anglers for the 3rd time in 2024. Stay with us.
Campus leadership. He earned a law degree, served as student body president, and was an outstanding right-handed pitcher. Burne's son had a superb 4-year career, highlighted by a magnificent 1971 season where he helped lead Lamar to its first Southland Conference baseball championship. That season, he led the Southland Conference with a 1.89 earned run average and tossed 4 shutouts, including Lamar record for wins, strikeouts, games started, complete games, and shutouts. These records led to his induction into the Lamar University Hall of Fame in 1984. David still holds the Lamar record for career shutouts and most shutouts in a season, and is one of only 3 Lamar players to have their jersey retired, joining Texas coaching legend Jim Gilligan and Red Sox hero Kevin Millar. After graduating from Lamar, David went on to earn a law degree at St. Mary's University in San Antonio, and he currently practices law with his son Cade, focusing primarily on personal injury litigation. Burns' son has served Southeast Texas as a state senator, all of Texas as the chairman of the Texas Department of Transportation. He is joined on the field today with his family, who have fallen in love with Chatham and have become avid Anglers fans. So David, whenever you're ready, fire away. Loyal angler support, David Burns' son. Thank you again, David. Thank you for rising for tonight's national anthem. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by members of the Cape Cod Shakespeare Festival, which opens Monday in Cape Cool Park at 7 p.m. with Romeo and Juliet. Sadie O'Connor will be singing tonight, backed up by the Cape Cod Shakespeare Festival players. With tonight's national anthem, on behalf of the Cape Cod Shakespeare Festival, Sadie O'Connor.
After the off day, the Bravos are looking to break a 2-game skid as they're in Chatham at Veterans Field for the second time this summer to take on the 14-1 Chatham Anglers. And we welcome you to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network alongside Cam Manna. My name's Nathan Schwartz. Please, you could spend your Wednesday evening with us. And for Bourne, an absolutely huge game here. They currently sit in 4th place in that West Division, a couple of games ahead of Falmouth before matching up with the Commodores tomorrow.
And every game's going to mean so much right now. It's July 17th. You're almost 2/3 through this Cape League season, so Bourne understands right now you drop 2 games. We mentioned it, good teams snap losing streaks very quickly, and this Bourne offense, 3 straight games was hot. They've cooled down. It's the game of baseball, but it's now you have to get back to that, play some consistent ball here, and it comes as a tough test. This Chatham team has won 4 straight, so it's the toughest test and the biggest game of the summer to this point.
Just 2 runs in the last 2 games for the Bravos, 1 in each, and they're going to send a lineup tonight that looks a little bit different than what we've become accustomed to in the last couple of weeks. Merrick Houston still leads things off at shortstop, and Cam Kojal at second base. No differences there. But in that 3 spot, the newest member of this team, Chase Meggers, the catcher from Oregon, he's going to bat 3rd. And then Tristan Becerra hasn't batted higher than 6th in his few games with Bourne. He's going to bat cleanup tonight and play left field. Chris Stanfield moves from center field to DH. He's going to bat 5th. Garrett Michelle in that 6th spot at first base. Another Oregon Duck in Mason Neville in right field tonight, batting 7th. Blake Barthel, the Chanticleer third baseman, will bat 8th. And Isaiah Jackson makes his first appearance since last Thursday in this Bourne lineup, and he'll play center. And they will hit against Tyler Kozera, the sophomore right-hander out of UCF.
And not a lot of appearances this past spring, but he's had a solid summer so far. A 3.78 ERA, just under 17 innings. What you love to see from him, 14 punch-outs to only 3 walks, commands the zone really well. A right-hander that has a very deceptive changeup, so we'll see how that affects this Bourne lineup here tonight, then where the strikeout numbers have been a huge problem right now, and they've climbed up in that category of late.
In that last game against the Mariners on Monday night, it was 10 strikeouts for the Bravos, and then on Sunday against Catuit, Bourne struck out 14 times. Very familiar to what we saw at the beginning of the season between this Bourne team, especially the first time they faced off against Chatham when there was a combined 35 strikeouts in that game between both sides. Bourne's bat struck out 16 of those 35.
And Bourne lost here 5 runs for the Chatham offense on only 2 hits. So that was the weirdest game of the summer, and 2 teams here that have slowed those things down, but they don't want to have those issues really come alive here in late July.
Merrick Houston out of Wake Forest, the junior shortstop, will lead things off for the Bravos here tonight. Kozera working from the windup, and his first pitch of the night. Fastball up and outside for ball number 1, and we're underway at 7:04 from Veterans Field. The last time the Bravos will come here to Chatham in the regular season, as Kozera deals the 1-0, and Houston a wave and a miss to even the count. But for Bourne, absolutely crucial. We talked about it coming in. Bourne about 4.5 games behind Hyannis right now for that 3rd place spot, so they're stuck in the 4th place spot at the moment. 1-1 inside to Houston, but then Falmouth at 8-17 right behind him. The Commodores playing tonight on Nesson, and then tomorrow will be the makeup of Saturday's rainout between Bourne and Falmouth at the Gov. 2-1 count if you're just joining us. Nobody out in top of the first. To Merrick Houston, the leadoff hitter for Bourne, who takes ball 3 at his eyes. And for Houston, so far this summer, .341. Had his best game since coming back from Team USA on Monday against the Mariners with 3 hits. And on the 3-1 he takes, it's a called strike 2 on the inner half by Joseph Labella, our home plate umpire. Mike Hinojosa at first base, and Joseph Caraco doing the umpiring at third base today. And the payoff to Houston. Below the zone for ball 4. So a 6-pitch walk drawn by Bourne's leadoff hitter Merrick Houston gives the Bravos their first base runner tonight.
And the big thing you want to hear there is 6 pitches, what Houston does so well, allowing himself to find his zone, control the zone as a good eye. That's what Houston has brought to the table. Walk number 15 on his summer and getting on base. That's why Scott Landers put him to this number 1 spot when he got back from Team USA.
His on-base percentage coming into this game, .492. Leads this Bourne team with 15 walks. And he's on first base for Cam Kojal, the second baseman. First pitch to Kojal. In there for a strike at his knees. For Kojal, the doubles merchant. To Merrick Houston, the walk merchant. 9 of those doubles this summer for Cam Kojal. That's the most in the Cape. Kozera set at the belt, and with 7 on the pitch clock, he deals, and it's outside to even this count at a ball and a strike.
5 doubles in his last 10 games, and Kojal has just lit it up at this 2 spot in this order, and you love to see that as a bright spot when the offense is slowed down.
A 9-game on-base streak for the Razorback, transferring from Vanderbilt just last week. Pickoff attempt here. Houston back in there safely. This Chatham team has won 4 games in a row. They're 8-4 here at Veterans Field. Second place in the East. A couple of games behind YD. 1-1 to Kojal. Hit a long way the other way, but way foul into the trees. And the Razorback will go down 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tyler Kozera on the mound for the Anglers. He's making his 6th appearance of the summer, his 3rd start. He's gone 16 2/3 innings, a 1-0 record, and a 3.78 ERA. Houston the runner at first following his 15th walk of the summer. And the 1-2 pitch from Kozera hit just over our heads and all the way out of play over towards the Gaga pit here at Veterans Field. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We talked about the Gaga pit pregame, just one of the most emphatic and exciting elementary school games you could play.
And those were the days. Recess tore that up. 1-2 pitch from Kozera. Kojal the other way. Is that fair or foul? It's just foul by about probably 7 to 10 feet. Coach Landers even had to duck to get out of the way of that one. And a couple of great at-bats worked by the first 2 hitters in this Bourne lineup so far.
12th pitch coming up of the inning here from Kozera, and Kojal, that's a low and outside pitch, just throwing your hands, trying to go the other way.
All 5 of the pitches in this at-bat have been below the belt to Cam Kojal. And Kozera, now with another 1-2 pitch, goes right back to the belt. It's a soft tapper back to him. The throw to first in time to get Kojal. Houston up to second. And the Bravos will have a runner in scoring position after the first out.
And for an offense that's struggling, that's not the worst thing in the world right there. Now you have 1 out, runner in scoring position, heart of your order. Kojal, at the very least, works the count and does a job advancing Houston 90 feet.
And that's what we saw in the bottom of the 9th inning on Monday. It was finally a cohesive inning. Michelle leads off with a double. The Clay Grady ground out to second, moves him over. Then Barthel brings him in with the sac fly. That was an inning that Bourne needed much earlier in that game. They got it in the 9th. And now here looking to build off of that with Chase Meggers to the plate. First pitch he sees on the Cape, he grounds to short. This is Iva Arquette throwing to first for out number 2. And a perfect time to tell you about this Chatham defense. From left to right in the outfield, Caleb Stelly, Ty Johnson, and Ashton Larson. From left to right in the infield, Kyle Lodis, Iva Arquette, Jaden Davis, and Robin Villeneuve, with Ike Irish doing the catching, and Chayton Krause, the designated hitter tonight for the Anglers. So back-to-back groundouts now for the Bravos. Kojal grounds out to Kozera. Meggers in his first Cape at-bat grounds out to Arquette. And Tristan Becerra, the Clemson Tiger, with 2 away. The cleanup man, a chance to give Bourne an early lead. First pitch to him, outside for ball number 1. For Becerra, just his 5th game on the Cape. This will be his 4th start. He's 3 for 9 with a homer and 3 ribbies. He's also walked 3 times. He's on base at .538 coming into this one. 1-0 from Kozera. Slider right down Broadway to even the count against Becerra.
Now batting for Chatham, the catcher from Auburn, number 4, Ike Irish.
Apologize for any technical difficulties here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. To catch you up, we're through the top 3 hitters in this Chatham order in the bottom half of the first inning. Ty Johnson, the leadoff man, the center fielder, grounded out to Cam Kojal, the second baseman. Ashton Larson, the second hitter, singled the other way. Ike Irish just popped out in foul territory to Chase Meggers, the new catcher for Bourne, on the third base side. And now Chayton Krause, who just arrived to Chatham this morning, doing the cleanup duties today for the Anglers and the designated hitter. Chase Meyer on the mound for the Bravos, making his first start of the summer, and he's already up 0-2 to Krause out of Dallas Baptist. Just real quickly, the Bourne defense: Tristan Becerra, Isaiah Jackson, Mason Neville left to right in the outfield. Blake Barthel, Merrick Houston, Cam Kojal, Garrett Michelle from left to right in the infield, with Meggers doing the catching. Myers 0-2, just outside, and the count 1-2 to Krause, the rising senior at Dallas Baptist.
And we saw Meyer pitch 2 nights back. Final 2 innings against Hyannis in the 6-0 shutout. Showed a lot of fire out of the bullpen.
Preserved the shutout against the Harbor Hawks. And he gets Krause to chase here on a ball in the dirt for strike number 3. It's the first strikeout of the night for the Mountaineer. And we head to the top half of the second for Veterans Field, scoreless between the Bravos and the Anglers. Welcome back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network for tonight's game between the Bourne Braves and the Chatham Anglers. Alongside Cam Manna, Nathan Schwartz with you here from Veterans Field. No score after the first frame. Bourne got 2 base runners via the walk, no runs. As Garrett Michelle leads off in top 2. First pitch he sees from Tyler Kozera upstairs for ball number 1. For Michelle the Hokie, a 208 hitter this summer across 17 games. Kozera deals the 1-0. Right back to him on a 1-hop. He makes the underhand toss to Villeneuve at first base, and that's out number 1 here in top 2.
And a hard hit ball there from Michelle. Just look out for Kozera right back on the mound. It's a low and inside, kind of a low middle fastball from Michelle in a good spot. Just topped on it.
That's the second 1-3 putout of the night for Kozera on the mound. He got Cam Kojal to ground out right back to him for the first down of the game. And now Mason Neville, the Oregon Duck, for his second game of the summer. Steps in, and the first pitch he sees a slider on the outside corner for strike 1. Neville, the rising junior at Oregon, 0 for 4 in his Bourne debut Sunday against the Kettleers. A couple of strikeouts in that one. A 1 from Kozera. Fastball just below the knees to even the count. But for Neville, still wearing that Arkansas helmet. We still haven't figured out what that's about. Only 3 hits in his freshman season with the Razorbacks. And on Kozera's 1-1, Neville takes, called strike on the outer half.
And it's a conversation we're definitely going to have, understanding whose helmet is it. Is it his helmet? Was there a helmet broken or lost?
Kozera's 1-2, fouled off the netting, and the count remains 1-2. But definitely interesting, for sure, because you look at what Chase Meggers comes in with. He's wearing the Oregon helmet. He's wearing all the Oregon gear. Neville wearing the Oregon leg guard, but that's it. And on Kozera's 1-2, it's outside, so the count now even at 2s. Just talking about the MLB draft a whole lot. We'll dive into that more in the top half of the third with Adam Gotkin. But Neville, a 2022 draftee. And he misses on the 2-2 fastball at his eyes. That's out number 2 in top 2. And the first strikeout tonight for Kozera on the mound.
And we haven't seen a dominant fastball so far from Kozera. That's a good pitch, elevated in the zone. We've seen his changeup mostly as the put-away pitch that he's shown so far in these long counts, but that's a really good upstairs fastball to the lefty in Neville.
And now Blake Barthel, still with the Bravos, was not selected in the draft. In the first pitch, he sees post-draft in there for strike one at the top of the zone. Barthel, the 175th collegiate prospect available by D1Baseball.com, but he did not hear his name called. 0-1 slider off the plate. And we didn't really know with Barthel. He went to the Combine, didn't get to Bourne until after the Combine, had a great 2 years at Coastal. As the 1-1, Barthel sends the other way foul into the trees. But you just never know in the MLB draft. Barthel just a draft-eligible sophomore, so only 2 years of collegiate baseball. Has struggled here on the Cape, just hitting .207 in 10 games. But you would think a surefire draft pick next year following his junior season if he hit the way he did in his sophomore campaign. Because there's 1-2 with 2 away. Hit to center field. This is Ty Johnson out of Baylor. Under it to make the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 second for Tyler Kozera on the mound for Chatham. Still scoreless at Veterans Field between Bourne and the Anglers on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. New frame here from Veterans Field in Chatham. Bottom two starting between the Bravos and the Anglers. And it'll be Iva Arquette, the junior shortstop in the transfer portal right now. Spent his first 2 years at Washington due to a coaching change in the portal. First pitch to Arquette above the zone for ball number one. Arquette, a .296 hitter across 23 games with the Anglers this summer. He's been with the team all the way through. And for this Chatham team, the last time they faced off against Bourne was the 29th of June. There's only 11 players in today's game for Chatham that were part of that roster. 1-0 outside. But just a crazy number. Just 11 guys remaining from that last game just 2 weeks ago.
And it just shows you Cape Cod, the draft, but also these guys in the portal and these temp contracts. It's a crazy situation.
2-0 from Chase Meyer. He gets a big swing and a miss from Arquette, and that's going to put the count at 2-1. But for Chatham, Austin Overn, who tore Bourne up the first two times these two squared away, drafted in the fourth round by my Baltimore Orioles. 2-1 in the dirt for ball three. That's just one of 8 guys that were on this Chatham roster this summer that got selected out of the 600-plus picks in this year's draft. On the Bourne side, there was 10 guys on the 2024 team. As Meyer deals the 3-1, it's down in the dirt once again for ball four. That's going to be the second base runner of the night for the Anglers.
And it's more credit to this Chatham team, especially these last 4 games. You win 4 straight, over, and one of your best players heads to the draft. Since the 29th of June, you know, what they've done in July, this is a 9-3 baseball team in the month of July with all the guys they've lost. It just shows this team sticking together, under Jeremy Sheets, their new head coach. There's a culture built here in Chatham.
A lot of infectious attitude with this Angler squad this summer, with Sheets taking over. First pitch to Robin Villeneuve inside for ball number 1. For Villeneuve, spent his first 2 years at the collegiate level with Weatherford College, was a 2-time JUCO All-American, then spent his junior year with Tennessee and won a ring, hit .288 with the Vols, and now going to spend his senior year at Texas Tech. And right here, after another pitch inside by Chase Meyer, it's 2-0 to the Red Raider. Meyer was very effective in that first inning. The only blemish, a single the other way by Ashton Larson. But the leadoff walk here to Arquette and a 2-0 pitch here to Villeneuve. Again, in the dirt, Meggers has been very busy behind the plate tonight in his Bourne debut as Villeneuve works ahead of Meyer 3-0.
And you mentioned the new guys. Villeneuve here kind of asked in this role, already a hot start in just the one game playing.
2 for 5 with a double yesterday against the Commodores. 3-0 fastball, called a strike on the outer half. For Chatham yesterday, they scored 4 in the top half of the first, went down 6-4 after the second. That game was tied at 7-7 at one point, 8-8 at one point, and then Chatham scores 6 runs over the last 2 innings to take that one 14-8. 3-1, there goes the bat. Oh my goodness, all the way down to the third base bag for Villeneuve, who swung through that fastball from Chase Meyer.
It almost shows you right there, Villeneuve on that swing with that bat going where it did. He didn't really take his shoulder out or pull because it didn't fly over the dugout. That was down the third base line, so at least it shows you his hands were through the zone. He just completely lost grip of the bat.
Wow. Good swing path for Villeneuve right there, the lone silver lining. It was a swing and a miss, obviously. So it'll be a full count to the newest member of the Texas Tech squad. He'll join Zach Crotchfeld as incoming transfers. We may see Crotchfeld pitch tonight for Bourne. By now a full count from Chase Meyer. There goes Arquette. It's ball 4. And after that bat fiasco, Villeneuve draws the second straight walk to begin this second inning for the Anglers.
And we've seen Meyer miss early in counts right now throughout the zone. That at-bat as a whole for Meyer, where he missed in the zone, very inside heavy on 3 of those 4 balls. So you look for him here to kind of adjust to that against another righty.
Meyer now with 7 walks in the summer in 7 2/3 innings. And he'll face Kyle Lodis, who squares the bunt, gets it down to the third base side. It's a beauty. Meyer, the only play at first, the throw in time. What a great play by Chase Meyer, fielding the sacrifice bunt attempt by Lodis. And it was in the nick of time to get him at first base, but Lodis able to do a job, moving Arquette to third and Villeneuve to second.
That's one of the best spots you can put a bunt, but what a play from Meyer, too. When you had the decision at the last second, do I eat this baseball, do I make a throw? Had to be accurate, bang, bang call, and a sidearm sling to Michelle at first.
Absolutely crucial you make a good throw there. As Jaden Davis out of Andy steps in. First pitch, curveball from Meyer, misses up. Fastball, slider, curveball change for the Mountaineer, who's making his second collegiate start. Only one with the Mountaineers this spring, and now his first on the Cape. 1-0 to Davis. Fastball outside, ball 2. And that's now 3 of the 4 batters here in the second inning, where Meyer has gone down 2-0 to start. Not exactly what you want in your first start here on the Cape. Bourne having to figure a lot of things out with this pitching staff. 2-0 fastball. That one called a strike. But Tucker Novotny drafted, Nolan Sparks drafted, Connor Whitgriff drafted, Wyatt Parliament drafted, Matt McShane drafted. I mean, a lot of these guys for Bourne that were selected this year were pitchers, starting pitchers. As the 2-1. On the ground, Tamara Houston is short. The only play at first, the throw made. And back-to-back jobs done by the Anglers give them a 1-0 lead as Jaden Davis drives home the first run for the A's.
And Chatham here wins the first battle. They go up first, and they do a really good job. We saw that bunt. You move over the runners. You're giving yourself a chance. That's kind of the worst-case scenario there, an RBI ground out. But now you have Villeneuve 90 feet away, and Stelly a chance here to drive in the run.
That's the 6th RBI this summer for Davis, as the number 9 hitter in Caleb Stelly grounds one to second. This is Kojal on the run. The scoop by Michelle, and that's out number 3.
So no hits in the inning for Chatham, but they do get the first run across on the RBI groundout by Jaden Davis. And the Anglers take a 1-0 lead into top 3 here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Bourne now trails for the first time tonight. It's 1-0 Chatham as we start the top half of the third inning. Alongside Cam Manna, I'm Nathan Schwartz. We'll hear from Adam Gotkin shortly. As Isaiah Jackson leads things off for the Bravos here in top 3. First pitch from Kozera. Jackson, a deep drive to right center. Back goes Johnson to the wall, and it's over it. Isaiah Jackson, his first homer of the summer. And just like that, the Bravos tie things up at 1.
Isaiah Jackson, the swing that we have been waiting for, what he brought to the table at ASU for the Sun Devils. You saw the power. He has the ability, highly touted, and finally the Jackson swing here on Cape Cod, right center field. And the Braves, man, exactly what's needed there for Jackson.
Now a deep breath for the ASU outfielder as Merrick Houston, the leadoff hitter, comes back to the plate and takes the first pitch upstairs for ball 1. And, man, that's got to feel so good for Isaiah to finally get that first one as Houston fouls off the 1-0. But we've just been waiting and waiting for really just any consistency at the plate for Isaiah Jackson. And what does he do on the first pitch he sees tonight? He sends it a long way to straightaway center field. 393 feet and 98 miles an hour off the bat. 1-1 to Houston. Called a strike on the outside corner. And now all of a sudden a very different situation for Bourne. I had just said they're trailing for the first time tonight. Now, immediately like that, it's tied up at 1. 1-2 in the dirt. And the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bourne's leadoff hitter, Merrick Houston.
And for Jackson now, 3 RBIs in his last 4 ABs. He had that 1 for 3 against Orleans with 2 RBIs. And then that shot right there, Jackson first pitch going.
2-2 from Kozera, the starter. Inside out swing by Merrick Houston, way foul over the fans just beyond the Bourne dugout down the right field line. And the Chatham Anglers doing their roll call. They do it every night. I saw that play out in Bourne a couple weeks ago, and that inspired the Bravos to start doing one, which we talk about frequently. As the 2-2 from Kozera. Houston the other way into right field. And that's back-to-back base knocks to begin the inning for Bourne. Jackson with the long ball, Houston with the single.
And the last 6 plate appearances for Houston, he's only not been on base once. Walked in that first AB and then a single there. We've seen from Houston so good about going the other way. Keeps his hands through the zone, his 2-strike wide approach swing. So Bourne now, they have to keep this consistent here in this type of inning, and it's good for Houston. You go the other way, and Kojal also swinging a hot bat.
The Cape leader in doubles with 9. Came into the night hitting .271, and he nearly gets hit on the first pitch of this at-bat by Kozera. It'll be 1-0 to begin. Kojal will ground out back to Kozera for the first down of this ball game. Still nobody out here in top 3 after Isaiah Jackson and a game-tying solo homer. Kozera's 1-0 to Kojal. Other way, foul off the netting in front of the Chatham dugout. We've seen a bat go over that way, now a couple of foul balls. A lot of action on that third base dugout here tonight.
And that ball ricocheted and rolled all the way back to the pitcher's mound.
A lot of wild things have happened here between these two teams at this ballpark this summer. And Kozera now working out of the stretch. His 1-1 to Kojal. Pops straight up as he'll stay in play as Villeneuve backpedals and somehow is going to hang on to it. Looked like he had a good read initially, then kind of lost it. He has to backpedal, somehow is able to catch it over his shoulder, and that'll be the first out for Chatham here in top 3.
Well, and there's that little wind pushing back, so Villeneuve, at the last second, just pushing himself back towards that first base coaching box that Quinn Stromberg holds up.
Now Chase Meggers, the redshirt junior backstop out of Oregon, the Rockland, California native, hitting from the left side. His second chance on the Cape. Merrick Houston leads at first, and we get a pickoff attempt, the tag, and safe is the call by our first base umpire tonight, Mike Hinojosa. Houston is a threat to go. He's stolen 6 bags this summer. As for Meggers, he hit .316 in his redshirt sophomore campaign with the Ducks. 5 homers, 8 doubles, 1 triple, and 33 RBI. Kozera, a deep breath, checks Houston. And to the plate. There goes Houston, and it's way foul over the Bourne dugout. Sent Isaiah Jackson into a crouch. He was outside of the dugout, leaning against the fence, and immediately hits the deck. And that one went about 5 feet over his head.
You got to think, too, that a few of the guys are joking around with Jackson. His excitement very jumpy right now, falling out of the dugout.
I'd be excited if I was him, too.
Yeah.
You just hit your first home run of the summer in game 26. Another pickoff attempt. Houston was off on that last pitch. And likely a hit and run was the call right there by Bourne's field manager, Scott Landers, who coaches from the third base box. Meggers in the number 3 spot of this Bourne order in his Bravos debut. 0-1 the count with 1 away in top 3. Kozera to the plate, and Meggers shoots it foul. But for Meggers, very familiar to the game of baseball. His dad, Mike, played in minor league baseball for 12 seasons with 5 different organizations, all in the National League. The Mets, the Cubs, the Rockies, the D-backs, and the Reds. And now Meggers looking to make his mark at the collegiate level. And on the 0-2 from Kozera, it's at the eyes of the Oregon backstop.
And those Oregon colors, the yellow and green, he has those nice Oregon cleats, the yellow shin guard as well, good touch.
Very vibrant. Oregon always has very good uniforms. As we see another pickoff attempt over to first base. No tag applied by Villeneuve, the Chatham first baseman. Merrick Houston still remains the runner. He had a single after the Jackson solo homer. Then Kojal with the pop out. So a 1-2 count with 1 away here in top 3. The pitch on the ground to the second baseman. He dives, and it's past the glove. Houston stops at second, and that's the first hit with Bourne for Chase Meggers.
And a good piece of hitting there. You're trying to work a count. You see the strikes that were in the zone. That one comes up and in. You fight it off. You go the right side. Houston, the righty, goes right side. And a good job from Meggers pulling it, going with the baseball to that same area. You get first and second.
And it worked out for Meggers that Chatham's middle infield with Jaden Davis, the second baseman, in a pinch for the double play depth. He hits it right to where Davis would be playing straight up and turns into a base hit, which puts 2 runners on base. Meggers at first, Houston at second for Tristan Becerra, the cleanup man. Trying to clean up right here. And the first pitch he sees in his second at-bat is in the dirt. Becerra walked in that first inning. It's the 4th time he's walked so far with the Bravos. He walked 2 times on Sunday against the Cavaliers. He was also hit by a pitch in that game. He came into the game with a .538 on-base percentage. So that only goes up with the leadoff walk he had. And now, after a rough start to this third inning, Chatham's going to take a mound visit. Eric Beatty will come out and talk with Kozera, the starter.
And a big spot here for a mound visit. You have that 1-1 game still very early, but Bourne threatening a good spot right now. Hitting contagious early in this inning. Bourne's first 3 hits all come in this inning. And we saw Kozera in that first at-bat against Pacetta, who was in the box. There was that walk, pitching away from the lefty, so we'll see how that plays a factor here.
1-1 here in top 3 between Bourne and Chatham. The third of 4 matchups between the East and West Division foes. Bourne 4th place in the West, Chatham 2nd place in the East. The season series tied at 1 apiece. Chatham took game 1 5-1 here at home, and Bourne took game 2 at home 10-3. But now following the mound visit, a 1-0 count with 1 away in top 3 to Tristan Pacetta, the cleanup hitter for Bourne. Here is that pitch, and it's fouled just past the Bravos dugout. That'll even this count, 1 ball and 1 strike. If Pacetta can keep this inning going, Chris Stanfield awaits on deck for Bourne. He's been swinging a hot bat as of late. Packed night here at Veterans Field. Kozera checks the runners. His 1-1 pitch to the plate. Check swing grounder to third base. Lodis throws to first. It sails over him and goes to the Bourne dugout. Still in play as Houston comes home. Meggers to third, Pacetta to second. And a gift by the Chatham defense gives Bourne a 2-1 lead.
And that's the game of baseball sometimes. You put a ball in play, good things happen. Pacetta had that check swing, but Lodis kind of that rush. Wasn't able to set his feet fully and airmill over Villeneuve at first base, and it gives the Braves an opportunity. Now you have that second and third run scores, and you have that lead.
2-1, and now 2 runners in scoring position for the Bravos as Chris Stanfield comes to the plate. And the Chatham infield comes in even with the grass. Stanfield hitting .267 this summer. And the first pitch he sees in his second plate appearance tonight is upstairs. For Stanfield, he popped up on a broken bat to Jaden Davis to end that top half of the first. And he stranded 2 runners on base. Once again, 2 runners on base for him here in the top of the third. Kozera, his 1-0. Slider down low for ball 2, blocked by Irish. And for Stanfield, we talked about how good he's been. He had an 11-game on-base streak, snapped on Sunday. He was 11 for 23 in the 7 games prior to Sunday. Hasn't gotten a hit in the last 2, 0 for 7. But he did have a walk on Monday against the Mariners. Here's Kozera's 2-0. Stanfield checks his swing. It'll be down low again, and a 3-0 count to begin to the LSU outfielder.
And Stanfield's been so good in these spots. Why he comes off a Player of the Week here in the Cape is because what he's done with runners in scoring position.
Kozera checking the runners, takes a breath, and the 3-0 pitch. Stanfield liked what he saw, fouls it back, and he had the green light there on 3-0.
Yeah, about 90 miles per hour. That was middle in, good spot, just out in front. Eyes got a little bit too jumpy. Strike either way.
Now a 3-1 count with 1 away. No force out anywhere with runners on second and third. Here's the 3-1. Stanfield, high chopper. This one foul as Coach Landers goes into a nice side shuffle to get over there and grab that foul ball. But after a 3-0 start to this at-bat, Stanfield swings 3-0, fouls it straight back. Fouls off the 3-1, and you got to think Kozera going to go right back to a pitch at the bottom of the zone here. Deep breath from Kozera on the mound, and his payoff. Stanfield, fly ball, left field. Stelly drifting back. He's going to make the catch. Here comes Meggers tagging from third base. He will score easily. And Stanfield, with a sacrifice fly, extends this Bravo lead to 3-1.
And there it is. RBI number 12 for Stanfield. Just do a job in that spot. Came into that AB 0 for his last 8, but you get a ball in the air right there, extend your lead to 2 runs. That's a good piece of hitting. We go back to the Braves, 16 stranded runners in your last 2 games. That's a way right there. Just do the small little things. Move runners over. Sack flies always do a job.
And still an RBI chance with a runner at second base in Pacetta for Garrett Michelle. First pitch to Garrett. Change up, called a strike on the inner half. Michelle grounded back out to Kozera to begin the top half of the second. Came into the game hitting .208. Had a double in the ninth inning against Harwich on Monday. The 0-1. Fouled back over the press box. And quickly 0-2 to the Hokie first baseman. Michelle 1 for 8, now 1 for 9 this summer against Chatham. That one hit came all the way back on June 17th. That was the last time Bourne was here, a whole calendar month ago. And on the 0-2, Kozera, a fastball over the head of Michelle. So the count 1 ball and 2 strikes after that 90-mile-an-hour heater. Michelle had that 2 for 30 stretch, between the 21st of June and the 10th of July. Has turned it up as of late. And on the 1-2, another foul ball by Michelle. Keeps this at-bat going.
We've also seen from Michelle, too, just going the other way a lot better. Back to that Brewster game, but also last time out, Michelle went twice to left field, won a double, and won a line out at home against Harwich.
Tristan Becerra leads at second base. Already 3 runs here in this third inning for Bourne. And the 1-2 to Michelle. Fouled off the pole just behind home plate. And the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes as we start to feel a couple of raindrops here at Veterans Field. A lot of wind here tonight. It was overcast pretty much from the start. It was about 10 minutes of sun when we got here around 5:15. But for the most part tonight, cloudy here in Chatham. And the 1-2 from Kozera. Up and out. It evens the count at 2s.
There was just so much sun during BP. It was almost blinding. And then literally in the blink of the eye, it was gray clouds and it says no rain in the forecast, just wind, but just a very slight drizzle, just a mist at the moment.
2-2 from Kozera. Michelle, the other way, just foul past Coach Landers. Great fight here by Garrett Michelle. It'll be the 8th pitch coming up right here between Kozera on the mound, who's now above 60 pitches here tonight after going into the 7th inning in his last start. That came last Thursday against Harwich. Now the 2-2 to Michelle. Another great take by the Hokie on the slider down below his knees. And now a full count between Kozera to Michelle, a right-left matchup here with 2 away in the top of the 3rd. Jackson had that homer to begin the inning. Houston came around to score on the E5. And now Michelle, another foul ball on the payoff pitch. You saw Meggers score. Meggers scored on that sac fly by Stanfield, who's back into the dugout after now tying the team lead with 12 RBIs. Ethan Conrad and Stanfield now tied in that column. Conrad not in the lineup tonight for Bourne. A rare occurrence for him this summer. Another payoff, and Michelle wins the battle. What an at-bat by Garrett Michelle. After all that, he's going to draw a walk on 10 pitches, and that'll add another base runner here for Bourne in top 3.
So many better at-bats of late for Michelle with 2 strikes. You're just battling pitches. You're working counts. You're making Kozera beat you. Hey, find me in the zone right now. I'm going to foul off all the pitches that are low and inside, low and away, and he does that there. And another mound visit from Eric Beatty on the Chatham side.
That's going to do it. The call down to the bullpen, and Bourne, with already a 3-run 3rd inning, is going to run Tyler Kozera, the rising sophomore at UCF, out of this ball game. We'll take a break here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. When we come back, we'll give you more info on Chatham's new arm. Stay with us here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. From one Tyler to another on the mound for Chatham. They go from Tyler Kozera to Tyler Murphy, the junior out of Florida Atlantic.
Had a lot of innings this past spring for Florida Atlantic, almost 54. So you think here there's a chance for the innings this summer as well. 6 ERA over the spring. So the distance here is going to be needed here as Chatham's going to turn into one of those bullpen nights.
And enters this game in a big spot for the Anglers. Already 3 runs in here in top 3 for Bourne. 2 runners on base for Mason Neville. First pitch of the night from Murphy. Neville, a swing and a miss. The throw nearly over the head of Villeneuve. That could have been really bad for Chatham. Ike Irish almost sails the back pick attempt. But the runners stay put. Bissetta at second. Michelle at first following his 10-pitch walk. And Neville at the plate. 0-1 for Murphy. In the dirt, ball 1. Blocked by Irish. Neville 0 for 5 to start his summer with Bourne. 0 for 4 on Sunday against Katuitt. And he was the lone strikeout victim of Kozera here tonight. Murphy checks Bissetta at second base. And his 1-1 pitch. Wave and a miss by Neville, the Oregon Duck, which makes the count 1-2. Murphy going into his junior year. The Palm City, Florida native. 36 collegiate appearances with Florida Atlantic. His first with Chatham here. And his 1-2 pitch to Neville. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Both strikeouts tonight for the Chatham staff have gone down Neville. But Bourne, an exclamation point here in top 3. Isaiah Jackson with a solo homer to start. The error by Lodis at third and the sac fly by Stanfield give the Bravos a 3-1 lead as we head to bottom 3 here from Veterans Field on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story. Welcome back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. A 3-1 Bravos lead here in Chatham. Nathan Schwartz now joined by Adam Gotkin, who's here to tell us a little bit more about the Bravos selected in the last couple of days.
Well, we had 10 2024 Braves picked in the 2024 draft. That has to be some sort of record or close to record of current Cape League players picked. Usually you get guys on the Cape in the future years who are going to get drafted, but this year 10 Bravos. Let's go through them super quickly. Jack Penny, the infielder who was with the team to start the season, taken in the 5th round by the Detroit Tigers. Connor Whitgriff, the opening day starter for Bourne, was taken in the 7th round by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Wyatt Parliament out of Virginia Tech started game 2 of the season. He was drafted in the 7th round by the Yankees. Donovan Zach out of Rutgers was drafted in the 8th round by the Guardians. You might remember him as the starter who hit 98 miles an hour against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Nick Roselli, an infielder who played in 9 games, was drafted by the Mets in the 11th round. as we continue on after this first pitch.
Chase Meyer back on the mound for the Bravos. His first pitch in there for a strike.
Pretty much every other team will be done by now with guys drafted, but let's continue on here. Nolan Sparks, a 3-year Bourne Brave, was taken by the Cardinals in the 13th round of the draft. Matt McShane, a 2-year Bravo, who was an All-Star last year, was taken in the 13th round by the Pirates.
As Meyer kicks and deals the 0-1 to the leadoff man in Ty Johnson in there for strike 2.
And we've got even more. Ben Hartle, who was just on the team 2 days ago, was taken in the 14th round by the Texas Rangers. Tucker Novotny, who was actually slated to start tomorrow, was taken in the 18th round by the Oakland Athletics. And finally, in the 20th round, Braden Reisdorf out of Indiana, who pitched in 3 games, was selected.
0-2 outside for ball 1 to Ty Johnson. Adam, thank you so much. A ton of talent on this 2024 Bourne roster, and we can dive into it a little bit later, but so much talent for guys expected to go at the top of next year's draft. And man, Meyer, that ball went about 55 feet. He looks a little shaken up coming off the mound. That one well in front of Ty Johnson, the hitter in the left box. And just a really awkward landing right there for Meyer on the mound.
Yeah, kind of just lost that front foot and almost fell over and had to kind of walk himself around the mound for a reset.
Well, Meyer will reset here. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now in favor of Johnson in the box as a 2-2 slider misses down and in. But we didn't get to talk about it last time, but Ty Johnson, the senior out of Baylor, making his second appearance with Chatham this summer. He was 1 for 5 with an RBI yesterday in his Cape debut. And on the 3-2, fly ball down the left field line. Becerra will stop running as it goes foul. But Johnson hit .313 this spring with the Bears. 13 extra base hits, 20 ribbies, 20 walks, and OPS over 800 after spending his first 2 years at the JUCO level. Meyer takes a breath. His 3-2, wave and a miss. Second strikeout of the night for the Mountaineer for out 1 in bottom 3.
You start up 0-2, you kind of lose the hitter, you lose your footing, but you still stay resilient there from Meyer. And that last pitch, he kind of shows him a ball in that 4th pitch in his same spot, and then that final pitch there goes back to it in a similar area, and gets the hitter and Johnson a chase.
Now Ashton Larson, the sophomore out of LSU, steps in. First pitch he sees in his second plate appearance, up and out. Larson has the only hit tonight for Chatham. That was a single the other way in the first inning when we were off the air for that brief spat. 1-0 from Meyer. There's the slider that never really had a good grip of, so that'll make it 2-0 to begin to Ashton Larson, who was 2 for 4 yesterday against the Commodores with 3 RBIs. A .323 hitter in 16 games with Chatham entering tonight's game. 2-0 from Meyer. Goes to the backstop past the glove of Meggers behind the plate. So a 3-0 count now to Larson, who all this draft talk was actually a 20th round pick by the Twins last year. Of course, decides to sign with LSU. Goes on to have 12 extra base hits and 16 RBIs with the Tigers this spring. 3-0 fastball just inside, and a 4-pitch walk for Ashton Larson is going to get him on base for the second time tonight.
And you see that as a good decision for a guy like Ashton Larson. You're highly touted coming out of high school. You see a 20th round. You have the option to go to LSU. You bat .298 during your freshman campaign, and then you hope in the next 1 to 2 years when you're eligible once again, that stock's going to at least boost up by 10 rounds.
For sure. First pitch swinging for Ike Irish, who could go very early next year, is fouled away. Irish first team All-SEC this year. .319 average, 14 homers, 59 RBIs. And missed quite a bit of time with an ankle injury, but still led the Tigers in average and RBI. A 1 from Meyer off the plate, so that evens the count. And 1 ball and 1 strike. And you rarely see guys like Irish going into their sophomore years be a part of the Buster Posey Award conversation, as the 1-1 to Irish is up and out. But for Irish, he was one of the semifinalists for that award this year. And was one of 16 catchers in the country, 3 of them from the SEC. He was the first Auburn catcher ever to be named a semifinalist for the award. And on the next offering, blocked by Meggers to keep it in front. So now a 3-1 count to begin to Irish, with just so much talent and he's easily a top 5 rounder in 2025.
And just 2 years at Auburn, a good program in the SEC, but what he's been able to do, that's already unbelievable, and the sky's the limit.
3-1 from Meyer. Fastball as Irish flips the bat. It's ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued here by the Mountaineer as Chatham tries to tie this thing up.
And this is where things can get out of hand. The offense comes together, 3 hits on 3 runs, but now Chatham first and second, 1 out. Double play is intact. Bourne also does have a pitcher stretching in their bullpen at the moment, but you want Meyer here to bear down. He's done it before. We saw last inning the walks and able to at least strand a few runners after the 1 RBI.
First pitch down and out to Chayton Krause. A matchup here between 2 guys that were part of the Tucson Regional. Meyer out of West Virginia, Krause out of Dallas Baptist. 0-1. This one just past Meggers. There's going to go Larson to third, and the throw will not be made. So a wild pitch by Chase Meyer now puts runners on the corners. And the second run for Chatham just 90 feet away.
And I saw Chase Meyer after that pitch. He's kind of waving his right arm in like a windmill motion at the moment. We'll keep an eye on that and see the fatigue right now for Meyer.
Remember, only 1 start for Meyer this spring in his freshman year with West Virginia. 1-1 to Krause. Swinging a foul ball over towards the light post by that Bourne bullpen that Cam just referred to down the right field line. And a 1-2 count now to the Chatham cleanup hitter who just got here this morning, just as the catcher for Bourne, Chase Meggers, did, replacing Ben Hartle on the roster. Myers 1-2, slider found straight back to the netting. So much turnover with these rosters. Bourne also added a pitcher, Preston Prince, to replace Tucker Novotny on this roster. Prince transferring from Niagara to Rutgers. We'll see him in the coming days. And there goes Irish on the 1-2. It's down low to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the tying run for the Anglers at second base.
And a really good job for this Anglers offense. Stealing there, you're able to at least move over Larson with that wild pitch. You have that base open. Smart job from Coach Sheets and his coaching staff to be the aggressor.
It's the 6th stolen base of the summer for Irish. As Garrett Michelle now in even with the grass at first base. 2-2 curveball misses up. And now Chase Meyer 1 pitch away from either striking out or potentially getting out Krause in another way for the second out, or putting him on base and loading the bases for Chatham here in bottom 3. Meyer with his payoff. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Great pitch on the slider by Chase Meyer. His 2nd strikeout of the inning and a crucial second out.
You love to see that there. Another 3-ball, 2-strike count. We saw the quick walks before to both Larson and Irish, but you work yourself back. You stay here, and you even challenge on a slider low and away out of the zone, but really good bite on that pitch for Krause to be out in front and have that check swing.
So that gives way to Iva Arquette. Has been a big part of Chatham's success this summer. That first pitch he sees in his 2nd plate appearance inside. Arquette with that leadoff walk in the bottom of the 2nd. He came around to score the only run so far for the Anglers. Has a chance with a base hit to bring home the next 2. 1-0 curveball in there for a strike. And for Chase Meyer, matching his career high right now in innings pitched with 2 2/3. 1 more out would be crucial, and then he'd probably give way to the Bourne bullpen. 1-1 to Arquette. Another curveball, another one inside. All 3 of these pitches to start have been on the inside half to the former Washington baseball player in Arquette. Testing the waters of the transfer portal currently. Now Myers 2-1. Popped up, but this one's going to get out of play over towards the parking lot as the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away here in bottom 3.
And you come inside 3 straight times. You missed twice barely. That one on the outer half of the zone. That's the pitch that Arquette wanted, challenging him. Now he has that 2-strike count.
3-1 Bourne lead here in bottom 3. 2-2 count, 2 away to Arquette in the box. Ashton Larson leads at 3rd. Ike Irish leads at 2nd. They represent both the runs that could tie this game up for Chatham as Meyer steps off. He's going to put his toe back on the first base side of the rubber. Take a breath, a leg rock to a set at the belt. And his 2-2 pitch just off the end of the bat, nubbed foul by Arquette. As we get word that Preston Prince, the new pitcher for Bourne that I just alluded to, is the man warming up in the bullpen for the Bravos. So a lot of debuts here tonight for both sides. As Meyer kicks and deals his next 2-2. Just misses again inside to Arquette, who with a walk here could get down to first base and load the bases for Robin Velnov, who awaits on deck. But Arquette trying to do it himself here with a base hit. And a full count with 2 away in bottom 3. Here's Meyer's pitch. Fastball line to center field, but right there is Isaiah Jackson, who's been the star of this third inning for the Bravos. And after a long bottom frame, the inning comes to a close. Bourne still with a 3-1 lead here on the road in Chatham, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Hello, I'm Cam Kozel, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Three to 1 the score in favor of the Bravos as we start the top half of the 4th inning here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Alongside Cam Manna, Nathan Schwartz with you, bringing you all the action tonight from Veterans Field in Chatham. The second of 2 matchups between Bourne and Chatham here at Veterans Field this summer. Just the third of 4 matchups between the 2 teams. The only other time these 2 teams could potentially meet would be in the championship series. That's a long ways away. As the 4th inning starts with a fastball in the outside corner, a called strike against Blake Barthel coming up to bat for the second time tonight. Barthel, the only Bravo not to get in that bat in that 3-run third. As Murphy deals the 0-1, and it's fouled back to make it 0-2 to the shot to clear.
And that long inning for the Braves, it starts with Jackson on the homer, then you have to reset with nobody on, and Houston does it like a leadoff hitter with that single, and that's how everything got propelled.
Barthel flew out to center field to end the second and to lead off the 4th. Down 0-2, make that 1-2 on the fastball up and out by Tyler Murphy, the relief pitcher here for Chatham, who came in relief of the starter Tyler Kozera, who went 2 2/3, giving up 3 runs on 3 hits, walking 3 and striking out 1. 1-2, another fastball up and out. This Chatham team, we talked about it earlier, red hot. 1-4 in a row, come in second place in the East at 14-11. YD leads that division at 15-8-2. Bourne and YD, the only 2 teams in the Cape with 2 ties. And on the 2-2 here, a foul ball into that Bourne dugout. My goodness, look out. I don't think anybody got hit there, but could have been very dangerous. We've seen a couple of dangerous balls hit over that way tonight.
Fly through the stair area, hit the back of the dugout area, but it looks like from the body language, everyone's fine.
Murphy working out of the stretch. His 2-2 pitch to the plate. In there, strike 3. Barthel knew it immediately. He walks back to the dugout as Murphy picks up his 2nd strikeout of the night.
And in just back-to-back ABs here for Murphy. And that one at bat, one batter faced in the Ville in the 3rd. Strikeout swinging, backwards K there to Barthel.
That's the first Bravo not named Mason DeVille to punch out tonight. And now back to the plate. Isaiah Jackson had that leadoff solo homer an inning ago. On the first pitch he sees in his second plate appearance, he takes below his knees. But Jackson wasted no time. First pitch of that third inning, 393 feet to straightaway center field onto that hill out in the outfield here at Veterans Field. 1-0 for Murphy. Jackson takes, and again, it's a ball to make it 2-0. That's just the third extra base hit this summer for Jackson. Just his fifth hit overall, and he's been with this team since the get-go. 2-0 pitch to the Sun Devil. Outside for ball 3. And this is what we've started to see a lot more recently, the walks. Thursday at Orleans, he had a double and a walk. If he were to walk here, it would be his 9th of the summer, in addition to now those 5 hits. 3-0. Fastball outside for ball 4. And what a start to the night that Isaiah Jackson is having.
And now they're pitching away from Jackson because they saw him first pitch swinging fastball, right center field. That ball was gone. Now Jackson not getting the exact pitches in the zone, and a good job from him not expanding there, understanding that. And it, once again, gives way to this Braves top of the order in Houston.
Houston 1 for 1 tonight. A single in the third. Also drew a walk to begin this game. First pitch, he squares the bunt. He pulls back, and it's above the zone to make the count 1-0. We've rarely seen Merrick Houston square a bunt here this summer, this being his 14th game with Bourne. He appeared in 8 before going to USA, now his 6th game back with Bourne. And on the 1-0 for Murphy, Houston stepped out of the box. It looked like the pitch is in there for strike 1. Never looked like Houston got a good read on that pitch. So the count now even a ball and a strike with 1 away in top 4. Isaiah Jackson leads at first following the 4-pitch walk. And now Murphy throws over as Jackson slides head first back into the first base bag. 3-1 here in the top of the 4th. Veterans Field, the site for tonight's game. Bourne in front of Chatham. There goes Jackson on the 1-1. The pitch above the zone. The throw to second by Irish is there. Isaiah Jackson, the one-out base runner, caught stealing, and that's going to be out number 2.
And there's a reason why Ike Irish, we talked about him in that Buster Posey Award conversation, his ability behind the plate. Just a great jump. That pitch was a little bit up in the zone, gave Irish that second to hop up and have that momentum, but gunned Jackson, and Jackson was out by a good amount.
And for Irish, in my opinion, one of the best names in college baseball. As the 2-1 is fouled straight back by Houston. The count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But that takes away the potential run for the Bravos. Now 2 away. Houston trying to get back on base here for Bourne, and what would be his 3rd time reaching tonight. Here's Murphy's 2-2. Another foul ball by the Demon Deacon.
I think it would make sense for Irish. How cool would it be Ike Irish playing for the Notre Dame Irish? But he'll take some SEC ball at Auburn.
And wouldn't that be something? Get him in one of those gold helmets that Jack Penny had? My goodness. 2-2 from Murphy to Houston. Sword, strike 3. The strikeout numbers have been up as of late for Merrick Houston. He goes down swinging to end this 4th inning. And for Murphy, he faces the minimum in the top half of the 4th. We head to the bottom half with the Bravos still out in front 3-1 on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace@buzzardsbay.com.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Chase Myers still back out there with the Bravos here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. We thought we would see Preston Prince, the southpaw out of Rutgers, to begin in his first relief appearance for the Bravos, but Scott Landers, Kevin Curtin, Coach Slovakia, the entire coaching staff going to put their faith in Chase Meyer, who's already surpassed his career high in innings pitched.
And you wonder here for Meyer, is it a one-batter walk and you're done? Prince is ready to go. He's hot, standing up in the bullpen, taking his last few warm-up pitches. So it just kind of comes down to here, why not send Meyer back out at the moment? 60th pitch coming up, but we'll see what the length is for him here in bottom four.
He'll face the bottom four in this Chatham order. And the first pitch he throws to Robin Velnov inside for ball one. You got to think that's the reason why. And then he gets through the lineup 2 times through. Then you have Prince come in to face Ty Johnson, the leadoff hitter, unless Meyer loses it here against 6, 7, 8, and potentially 9 in the Anglers order. But it's Velnov to lead things off here in bottom four. And after that pitch misses outside, he's up 2-0 against the Mountaineer on the mound. Velnov walked his first time up, was stranded at third base. 2-0 for Meyer. Fastball up and out for ball 3. Again, this is the situation you were alluding to. Leadoff base runner, maybe then you bring in Prince. Who knows how long Meyer can go. His 3-0. Fills up the zone for strike 1 at 93. We've seen a lot of the fastball and the slider, the curveball, time to time tonight for Chase Meyer. And the 3-1 goes back to the heater. And again, in there for a strike. It's a full count.
And for Meyer here, it comes down to if you want to keep pitching, you have to get through this batter 3-2. So your outing depends on this pitch.
The payoff. Strike 3. The count started 3-0 to Velnov. Then 3 straight heaters blown past him for Meyer's 4th K.
Survive and advance here for Chase Meyer. If you get through this 4th inning, it's going to come down to not allowing a base runner or a hard hitter or a walk right here. Prince is ready to go. He's standing up on the mound in the bullpen, just waiting for his call.
Lodis to the plate for Chatham. Look out. Fastball up and in. He has to lift the elbows up to let that one go by at 94. The velocity still there for Meyer in the mid-90s. And his 1-0. Slider down and away. Meyer's last appearance came on Friday against the Harbor Hawks. The last 2 innings of that one. No hits, no runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts to preserve that shutout and the 1 hitter for Bourne. 2-0 to Kyle Lodis at the top of the zone for strike 1.
And even though Meyer's gone down 2-0, 3-0 multiple times, you see him there, goes back to the slider, works backwards on a 2-0 pitch.
Not afraid to mix that curveball in there. Heater, 2-1, bottom of the zone, strike 2. That's the bread and butter right now for Chase Meyer.
And what he's done so well is he'll go back-to-back off-speed, but he never goes 3 straight. That fastball comes back with the off-speed.
And now, a 2-2 pitch from the stretch. Back to the slider. Outside, ball 3. And another full count to start this 4th inning for Chase Meyer. He got the strikeout of Villeneuve. What can you do here against Lodis? Fouled straight back on the payoff.
And right now, about to be a 13-pitch inning so far. We've seen that pitch count rise. 72nd pitch coming up for Meyer. But he goes fastball there. Look for him here if he's confident. Go back to that slider low and away.
He has loved that heater with 2 strikes. What will he do? Takes a breath. And the 3-2. It is the breaking ball, and it's a fly ball to right center. On the move, and the catch made in the right center field gap by Mason Neville. Showing the range in the gap.
And a great job from Neville there. The lefty kind of going around his body, over his head to make that catch. Meyer goes with the off-speed, and it kind of misses a little bit more middle. You're trying to work outside the zone there, but good play from Neville. And Meyer here a chance to get through 4 when it looked like a 1-batter leash.
And now another right-handed hitter in Jaden Davis, the 8-man. First pitch, fastball, My goodness. Nearly hits him in the head. He had to turn his head. Was trying to wear that one on the back if he had to. And that's a couple of times in this fourth inning for Chase Meyer where he's just overthrown the fastball. That one at 93, well up and in. As the count starts 1-0 to Davis out of Andy. 1-0. There's the curveball. Misses up to make it 2-0. And now you just see the fatigue starting to settle in. Everything missing up and in. Let us struggle to find the zone here for Meyer, who can't find it on the 2-0. And now a 3-0 count to start to Jaden Davis. Caleb Stelly, the ninth hitter, awaits on deck. And the next offering outside as the count now 3 balls and a strike. Davis, the rising junior second baseman out of Vanderbilt. On the 3-1. Taking, that's ball 4. So Chase Meyer issues his 5th walk tonight. He walked 2 in the second back-to-back, walked 2 in the third back-to-back, and now walks his 5th of the night with 2 away in the bottom of the 4th as Scott Landers is deciding whether or not they're going to pull him. He's got his legs crossed at the top of the step in the Bourne dugout, and he's going to stay put as Caleb Stelly digs in to the box for Chatham. First pitch from Meyer, another one missing up and in. And you got to think if you're Meggers or Landers, just go out there and try and settle him down.
I think, too, you put the first 2 batters down. You let Myers work here right now. He's in that kind of mindset. He knows this is kind of a survival mode to get through this inning. We see Meggers right now having the conversation, which is smart. No need for Scott to come out here at the moment. This could be the last at-bat, but smart for him to face this final batter in Stelly. You get the first 2 down, you earned here this final batter.
I think whatever were to happen in this at-bat, this will be the final batter that Chase Meyer faces tonight as you see him wound up that right arm again. I don't know whether that's discomfort or stretch or whatever. You think if it was serious, the Bourne coaching staff would have him out of this game by now. But here for the Bravos, a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 4th. Those 3 runs all came in the top half of the 3rd. Chatham with a runner on base in Jaden Davis. Tying run at the plate in Caleb Stelly. And the 1-0 from Meyer is fouled away to even the count. Stelly hitting .063 coming into the night across 16 games. Just 1 for 16 with the Anglers after hitting .296 with Louisiana Lafayette this spring. 1-1 from Meyer. Fastball outside, 2-1 the count. For Stelly, only 52 at-bats in his freshman season. Spent last summer with the Mystic Schooners in the NECBL. A .250 average there. And on the 2-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. Chase Meyer now just 1 strike away from getting through 4 innings here in his first start. If he can't get Stelly, the top of the order, and Ty Johnson awaits on deck as Preston Prince waits in the Bourne bullpen. Here's the 2-2 pitch. In there, strike 3. Chase Meyer grinds through the 4th to get his 5th strikeout in his first start on the Cape. And the score remains 3-1 in favor of the Bravos as we head to the top half of the 5th on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Hi, I'm Adonis Guzman, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
2-3-4 for the Bravos here in the top half of the fifth inning in Chatham. Cam Kozel, Chase Meggers, Tristan Becerra due up for the Bravos as they try to add on to this 3-1 advantage. Alongside Cam Manna, Nathan Schwartz with you here from Veterans Field. Big inning here for Bourne, coming off of that likely last inning for Chase Meyer where he gets his 4th and 5th strikeouts, stares down the Chatham dugout, walking out. He plays with a lot of moxie, as we saw the other night against Hyannis with Cam Kozel taking ball 1 to begin this 5th inning.
And the big thing here for the Braves, too, is you have to stay hungry on the offensive side because Bourne's going to have to go to their bullpen here for a long relief appearance.
Next offering, Kozel fouls it straight back, and the count evens. And a ball and a strike to the Razorback, entering his sophomore season. Looking to reach base for a 10th straight game. Cam mentioned earlier he's had an extra base hit in 5 of those 9 games. 1-1 for Murphy at chin level, so the count now 2-1 to Kozel, who has not gotten a hit against Chatham this summer. He had the golden sombrero in the first matchup, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts, and then didn't play the last time out. 2-1. Murphy's fastball fouled over our heads. Fun setup here for us at Veterans Field. Directly behind the plate, elevated on the concourse. A great view. Can see pretty much the entire field. As Murphy gets ready, kicks and deals on the 2-2. The slider below the knees of Cam Kozel, who worked this count full to start the 5th.
And then all the fans that are on the outfield hill here in Chatham with their lounge chairs and their towels. It's just a beautiful area, stadium for baseball.
3-2. Kozel, again, another foul ball. But we were talking earlier, Cam, what a great spot for a playoff championship atmosphere this would be. I mean, you have that entire hill out in the outfield, all the seats, the bleachers, the concourse. You can fit so many people here, and one of the most beautiful parks in the Cape. As Murphy, another payoff as Kozel swings and misses through it. The first strikeout here for Murphy in the 5th, and his 4th overall.
And we've seen Murphy so far, the strikeouts have been all his outs. 4 outs, and they've been the K's right now. Really good pitch, just an upstairs fastball there to Kozel.
Murphy only had 41 strikeouts in 53 1/3 innings this spring with Florida Atlantic. First pitch he throws to Meggers in there for a strike. Back to his freshman season with Florida Atlantic. A little bit better in the strikeout department, 39 and 34 1/3 innings pitched. 0-1. Meggers foul ball the other way. It's 0-2. Well, for Murphy, what a way to introduce yourself to the Chatham fan base. Here at home, you've been able to buckle down after the starter Kozera gave up those 3 runs, and all 4 outs you've acquired have been via the K. Now an 0-2 pitch to Meggers, well off the plate. Meggers with a plus 800 OPS this past spring. Takes the 1-2 in the dirt as Irish blocks.
And we're seeing Murphy right now, those 4 strikeouts. He's really looking for a put-away pitch right now, and a good job from Meggers, not Chase, at 2 pitches very well low in the zone.
It's an even count. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Meggers, the Oregon Duck, who takes ball 3 just outside on the breaking ball. That one clocking in for Murphy at 83. As we get back-to-back full counts to start this top half of the 5th inning. Murphy looking for strikeout number 5, the 3-2. He won't get it. It's popped up to the left side. In fair territory, a catch made by Kyle Odis, the 3rd baseman, and that's out number 2. The first out for Murphy, not via the strikeout.
But still a strikeout pitch up and inside of the lefty there in Meggers, and he just fights it off and bloops it in the air in foul territory. And a good job here for Murphy bearing down after the Braves' long 3rd inning. You come into that relief, you get that first strikeout to end that threat, and you've been very consistent and dominant here out of the pen.
And Bourne hasn't gotten a hit since Meggers' single in that 3rd inning. Now a whole time through the order as Tristan Becerra comes back to the plate. He reached on that E5 by Kyle Odis in that 3rd inning. And the first pitch, Becerra sees at the top of the zone for strike 1. That error by Lodis allowed Houston to score the second run of the game for Bourne in a 3-1 Bravo lead. Next pitch to the Tiger, fouled straight back, and Becerra down 0-2 with 2 away here in top 5. All 3 of those runs earned for Kozera, who exited after 2 2/3, after going 6 2/3 in his last start, last Thursday. 0-2 to Becerra, same spot, same result, a foul ball straight back to the netting.
And another upstairs pitch from Murphy on the fastball. He usually follows that up with a very low breaking ball pitch. We'll see if that's what he goes to here to have Becerra try to chase out of the zone.
Tyler Murphy on the mound for Chatham. Set at the belt. 0-2 count, 2 away, top 5 to Tristan Becerra. The pitch. Fastball just below the knees for ball 1. For Becerra, third different league in the last 3 years in the summer. Played for the Charlottesville Tom Sox in the Valley League in 2022. Lexington County in the Coastal Plain League last summer. And now Bourne. 1-2. Popped up over our heads, again over towards that Gaga pit. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes to the redshirt junior outfielder. A South Carolina native. Didn't have to go very far for school. He's a Greenville native. Another 1-2 pitch. On the ground to Jaden Davis at second base. He makes the throw, and it's a 1-2-3 fifth for Tyler Murphy. Good start to his summer on the Cape, but Bourne still clings on to this 3-1 advantage, and finally we'll see Preston Prince come out of the bullpen for Bourne when we come back on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story. Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com.
I'm Caden Bodine, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Hello, I'm Cam Kozel, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Hi, I'm Adonis Guzman, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
New inning, new pitcher for the Bravos. The rising junior southpaw from Rutgers, Preston Prince, going to make his first appearance on the Cape. Transferring from Niagara, where he made 11 starts across 12 appearances in 2024. An 0-2 record, a 6.10 ERA across 38 and a third innings pitched. And a fun note here, he got the start in Niagara's first ever NCAA tournament game just last month.
Yeah, that was against number 11 Oklahoma State. And just a big thing for that program, having a lot of down years in their conference, and out of nowhere, they really have just a phenomenal, historic season, and he's able to now get a chance to move on to a bigger level in Division I.
Niagara, just a 2-game performance in that regional. They lose to Oklahoma State, and then they lose to Nebraska in Game 2. But the first pitch of Preston Prince's Cape career is a strike to Ty Johnson, the leadoff hitter, who will lead off this bottom half of the 5th inning. Prince stands 6'5", 230 pounds, and his 0-1 down in the dirt to even the count. And the fastball so far 92-93. from the left arm of Prince, who made the move from the bullpen to the rotation in his sophomore year. 1-1 to Johnson, and there for strike 2 on the outer half. For Prince, had to deal with a lot of walk issues this spring. 42 of them in 38 and a third innings pitched. We'll keep an eye on that. And his 1-2 veers off the plate to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The walks were an issue for Chase Meyer, but he only gave up the 1 hit. 4 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, the 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts, his final line. And Prince, his 1-2, his 2-2 rather, down in the dirt to make the count now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And the first batter for a reliever is always the most important. He kind of sets the tone here for his first outing, first appearance.
The payoff. Upstairs for ball 4. Just mentioned those walk issues in his sophomore year. The first batter he sees in the Cape, a walk, and it's the leadoff hitter for Chatham, Ty Johnson.
And this is the part of the order for Chatham and what they've done a lot of damage in this 4-game win streak. This is an offense that explodes early. We saw it last night against Falmouth. They can do things, and they can do it in a hurry.
A very different Chatham roster, though, than what Bourne has seen this summer. Johnson, the leadoff man, Kraus, the cleanup guy, Villeneuve, the 6-hitter, all new to this lineup. And the first pitch that Prince throws to Ashton Larson is outside for ball 1. Larson, one of the few mainstays as of late for this Chatham lineup. 1 for 1 with a single and a walk so far tonight. Prince high leg kick and the fastball on the outer half evens the count. Larson, the Overland Park, Kansas native, the best player out of Kansas in the class of 2023 by perfect game. 21 hits now on his summer. And a spiked fastball there by Preston Prince. Gets away from Meggers, the backstop, and puts Johnson, the potential second run for Chatham today in scoring position.
And that tying run in the box here in Larson, you have a part of the order in Irish and Kraus to follow, so this is a spot here on a 2-1 count. We have to be careful.
It's Larson at the plate for Chatham. Next offering, fouled away as the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Larson's been great at the top of this Chatham order. Hasn't reached base a whole lot other than getting hits. His average just 20 points lower than his on-base percentage. But he did walk here today. Prince's 2-2. Good bite on that breaking ball. And a good spot by Meggers, but it misses low. And now Prince in danger of walking back-to-back hitters to begin the 5th and putting the tying run for the Anglers on base. Johnson leads at second, the 3-2. Did he go around the appeal? He did not. Ashton Larson draws his second walk tonight. He's now reached base in all 3 of his trips to the plate, and a tying run for the Anglers at first.
And right there, you're in a count once again where you're ahead. You have a hitter and 2 strikes. You were down on that one 2-1, but you make it 2-2. Too many cute put-away pitches, low off speeds in the dirt on back-to-back walks. You need to see Prince here just attack more right now. Can't allow the free passes.
That'll get the Bourne bullpen active again. And now the 3-hitter, Irish, takes ball 1. Likely not going to see Irish squirt a bunt here. Came in hitting .303 with 27 hits, 2 homers, 3 doubles, 9 RBIs. But he's 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. 1-0, foul tip into the mitt of Meggers behind the plate. That's going to even this count at a ball and a strike. For Irish, actually his second summer on the Cape. He spent last year with Brewster after his freshman year at Auburn. Hit .283 with the Whitecaps, 5 extra base hits, 8 RBIs. Already has 5 extra base hits this summer with Chatham, and has surpassed that RBI total. 1-1 from Preston Prince. Irish actually does square here, pulls back. It's below the zone for ball 2.
Back-to-back 2-1 counts. We saw Prince last time make it 2-2. Also, what a ground ball would do right now for Prince on a double play chance.
Double play depth for Bourne. 2-1 heater misses low. And a rough start for Preston Prince here in the Cape. Has already walked the first 2 batters he's faced. In danger of walking the bases loaded, which would put the go-ahead run for Chatham at first. He's already standing in the box right now in Irish. And there is that third walk. A 5-pitch walk for Irish and 3 straight base on balls to begin this bottom half of the 5th.
And the rumbling and stopping from the Chatham fans. Big spot here for the Anglers. Best chance they've had. Bases loaded, no outs. This is a spot where you can do a lot of damage. A ball in the air does a lot of good. Ground ball is kind of what best case scenario here for Prince. You can trade the run for 2 outs at the moment.
Chatham was down by 2 runs yesterday after the 2nd inning. They wound up winning by 6 after a late surge in the 8th and 9th at the Gov. Now here, their best opportunity of the night. And funny enough, they still only have the 1 hit, which came all the way back in the 1st inning when Ashton Larson went the other way with a single. They've drawn 8 walks here tonight, and that was the issue for Bourne the last time that they were here. 14 free passes issued by Bourne in that 5-1 loss a month ago. As Chayton Krause, the DH, to the plate. First pitch all the way to the backstop, over the head of Meggers. The flip to the plate, the tag by Prince, and he's out. What a break for Bourne. Johnson tries to take home on the wild pitch. He was out by a mile, and that's out number 1 in bottom 5.
What a play there from Meggers behind the plate to get that ricochet so quickly, and Prince on the backup, full steam ahead. The second that ball went to the backstop, Prince was full go to home plate to make that tag. That's a big play right now. You help yourself out. You at least get the 1 out.
Now the 1-0 to Krause. Popped up. Will this one stay in play? Barthel over, and it's off the netting atop of the Chatham dugout. But now the situation, Larson at third, Irish at second. Irish represents the tying run here for Chatham in the bottom half of the 5th. It's a 3-1 game with Bourne on top. Chatham scored in the bottom half of the 2nd on the RBI ground out by Jaden Davis. Bourne with 3 in that top half of the 3rd. 1-1, big cut and a miss by Krause, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of punch-outs tonight. And how this inning could change if Prince gets a punch-out right here. 1-2 with 1 away. Prince to the plate. There's strike 3. Back-to-back crucial outs for Preston Prince on the mound for Bourne. He gets the tag out at home plate, and then his first strikeout in the Cape. And just like that, there's 2 away, but still the threat remains for Chatham.
And you think that tag out from Prince kind of set him in this tone right now, got him into this rhythm.
First pitch to Iva Arquette. On the ground, Houston dives, it's off his glove. Larson in to score. Here comes Irish around third. He's going to score without a play. And Chatham on the 2-run single by Iva Arquette ties this game up at 3.
And you can hear it right now, rocking in here on a very packed Wednesday night. And finally, Chatham comes through. That was a position where you had to. A good swing from Iva Arquette to that left side. Prince throws a good pitch, but you like Arquette there attacking on the first pitch. We've seen the first pitch strikes, and then we saw Prince go down 2-1, but there it was, and he delivers.
For Arquette, that's his 17th and 18th RBIs this summer. And on the first pitch to Robin Villeneuve, he takes above the zone. And you see that ground ball, you think, okay, Prince might have a chance here to get out of it, but it was just too far out of the reach of Merrick Houston. And it ties the game up at 3. 1-0 to Villeneuve, high fly to right field, back Neville. He looks up, it's over the fence, and Chatham leads for the first time since the 2nd. A 2-run opposite field jack for Robin Villeneuve. His first home run on the Cape, and it's 5-3 Anglers.
And Villeneuve just going the other way. That's an in-and-out swing, but 314 down the line, just a lot of power the opposite way. That kind of goes the middle of the hill right there. And just like that for Chatham in an inning where Prince loads the bases, then you get it out, then you get the strikeout, you think you're back in the rhythm, and then 2 swings really hurt you.
As there's some raindrops now here at Veterans Field. First pitch to Kyle Odise outside for ball number 1. In a rough 5th here for Preston Prince. 1-0 breaking ball drops into the zone. It's a 4-pitch mix for Prince. A fastball, a changeup, a cutter, and a slider. He's used all 4 here. And the 1-1. There's the changeup. It's up and out for ball 2 against Lodice. Transferring to Georgia Tech from Augusta, where he hit .369 and was on the All-Peach Belt team this past spring. 2-1 changeup inside. And man, Preston Prince almost gets out of it with that ground ball. And how this game has switched in the last 2 hitters. Went from 3-1 to 5-3, just like that. And now a 3-1 pitch to Lodice. Up and out for ball 4. It's the 4th walk issued here in the bottom half of the 5th by Preston Prince, who continues to struggle.
And that was the momentum right there where you think you gave Chatham the momentum. Prince kind of takes it back on that wild pitch tag out and the strikeout. 2 away. And then that's where stuff is now shifted once again. And Scott Landers outside the dugout. Could be it soon for Prince.
First pitch he throws to Jaden Davis. Down and away for ball 1. And he can't let this get too far out of reach. A now 2-run deficit for the Bravos in bottom 5. There goes Lodice, the ball in the dirt, and not even a chance to throw out Lodice for Meggers behind the plate. And it'll be an easy stolen bag, the 2nd stolen base of the night for Chatham. As the mist starts to fall, and the fog setting past the outfield. There goes Lodice again. Meggers can make a throw this time. His throw to third, not in time. Back-to-back stolen bases on consecutive pitches for Kyle Lodice. And now the 6th run for the Anglers just 90 feet away in a 3-0 count to Jaden Davis, the 8-hitter. .3-0. Up and out. Excuse me, that probably was the... That was the 2-1 pitch, rather. So now 3-1 the count. From Prince to Davis. Here is that 3-1. High drive. Left center. 2nd homer of the inning for the Anglers. Villeneuve goes the other way. Davis goes to left center. A 6th spot for Chatham here in bottom 5, and it's 7-3 A's.
And we touched on it, how Chatham, they did it last night against Falmouth. They can score in a hurry, and Scott Landers comes out, points to the bullpen for obvious reasons, and that's going to do it here for Preston Prince.
He was waiting and waiting and waiting to get his turn to make his Cape debut. He came into this inning with Bourne having a 3-1 lead. He exits with Bourne trailing 7-3. And we take a break here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network as the new arm comes in for the Bravos.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
What a rough bottom of the 5th here from Veterans Field. Already a 6th spot for Chatham, and now the new pitcher will be Griffin Hugas, making his first appearance since that epic standoff on Friday against Hyannis, which he won, by the way, against Aaron Savory. And the first pitch he throws, he gets a pop-up to center field. Isaiah Jackson camping under it through the mist. He makes the catch, and that's going to end this bottom half of the 5th inning. But what a frame it was for the Anglers. A 2-run single for Arquette, a 2-run homer for Villeneuve, and a 2-run homer for Jaden Davis. Give the Anglers a 7-3 lead over the Bravos. When we come back, Cam Manna will take over on play-by-play. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Well, things have shifted quickly here at Veterans Field on this Wednesday night. We head to the top of the 6th inning, but Chatham now with a 7-3 lead over Bourne on a 6th spot in bottom 5 with 2 long balls. And now the Braves up 3-1, just like that, down 7-3. Once again, thanks so much for joining us. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you, and Chris Stanfield in the box for 5, 6, 7. We had Tyler Murphy back on the bump here for his 3rd full inning of work. The righty from the stretch. Stanfield, the righty, steps in, waves the bat. And the first pitch, Stanfield grounds it down the left field line. It's a base hit. It's going to be extra bases. Stanfield takes the turn. He's motoring into second base, and he'll be in there standing. First pitch swinging is Chris Stanfield for his 3rd double of the summer, and it's a leadoff double here in top 6.
And talk about a response. We've seen Bourne come back after big innings by opponents and strike immediately, especially in the last 2 weeks. And Chris Stanfield, their first pitch of the inning, down the left field line. Even if you don't get all 4 back here, even just getting 1 would be crucial for this team's confidence going through the last 4 innings.
Here's the lefty and Garrett Michelle, Stanfield off second. First pitch, a check swing. Michelle went around. 0 for 1 so far, walked back in the 3rd inning. That was the Braves' 3 spot in their 3 runs here tonight. Michelle, the Hokie, 18th game, hitting .208 coming in. Waves the bat in his shoulder. Murphy set from the stretch, looks at second at Stanfield. 0-1, low and inside to Michelle. But now both sides with 4 hits. Chatham, though, the 7 runs, and the long ball was the difference. Preston Prince loaded the bases, then second and third, got a punch out, had 2 away, and then Iva Arquette the single, and then the home runs to follow. Murphy sets 1-1 to Michelle. Ground ball right side. Davis on the backhand at second base. Fires to first. And just on the bag was Villeneuve. That's out number 1. Stanfield advances 90 feet. And the Bourne Braves' 4th run is 90 feet away.
Real quick, back to that 5th inning. This is exactly the problem that Bourne had the last time these 2 teams faced off. Bourne walked 10, hit 4 batters, struck out a whole bunch. And here tonight, only giving up 4 hits, but walking 9 batters so far, and the long ball as well.
As Mason DeVille, the lefty, steps in. First pitch fastball down the dish. 0 for 6 so far is Neville in just his 2nd game here on Cape Cod. Has an RBI chance, Stanfield off third base. Murphy's 0-1. Up the ladder is Neville, swing and a miss. Snap throw to third, just not in time. Lodis couldn't squeeze it. Stanfield would have been safe either way, and the count's 0-2. Bourne has also stranded 16 base runners in their last 2 games. Wasn't a big issue tonight, but we'll see here 3 so far. And Stanfield on third base. Murphy, high leg kick. 0-2, swing and a miss. Fifth punch out for Tyler Murphy out of FAU. And there's 2 down in the inning.
And Neville continues to struggle here in the Cape, now 0 for 7 with 5 punch-outs. And for Bourne here, you got to find a way to get Stanfield home from third. You can't have the 6-run inning in the bottom half, get a leadoff base runner in scoring position, and leave him stranded.
It's the lefty Blake Barthel. First pitch off the netting, fouling it off. And this Bourne order, you go down the list, your final 4 hitters, all lefties, Michelle, Neville, Barthel, and Jackson. Barthel so far 0 for 2, has also struck out. 0-1 for Murphy. Off speed's low and outside. Still so many fans in attendance here from Veterans Field. They were stomping, loud, enthusiastic on a 4-game win streak, looking to make it 5. 1-1 pitch in the attic to Barthel.
And that's just the kind of streak that Bourne hasn't had. And they had that 3-game winning streak going into that Saturday contest against Falmouth. It gets rained out, which took away all the momentum that this team had.
Murphy, 2-1. Spits on the off speed. It's outside. It's 3-1.
And you thought maybe the off day yesterday would maybe reset that. It looked to be that way for the first 4.5. And now all of a sudden, Bourne has to claw back from a deep deficit once again.
Murphy delivers the 3-1. Barthel swing and a miss. 3-2, 2 down here in top 6. And a Chatham 7-3 lead over the Braves. 0 for 2 is Barthel, as we stated. Normal depth here for the Chatham defense. Stanfield 90 feet away. The payoff for Murphy. Just above the letters to Barthel. Heads down to first base on the long AB. And Isaiah Jackson, who's been dangerous here tonight, steps in. 1 for 1 with a solo shot. Walked in the last AB.
And for Isaiah Jackson, we really haven't seen him put together multi-hit games a whole lot this summer. Just the one, all the way back on opening day, over a month ago at this point. He's had a couple of great at-bats here tonight, and he doesn't need to hit one into the gap. He just needs to find a way to extend this inning, get on base, even if that's with a hit-by-pitch.
The Sun Devil stands tall in the lefty's batter's box. Murphy from the stretch. First pitch, breaking ball at the knees, a called strike. Third meeting of the summer of 4 between Chatham and Bourne. Last time the Braves will come to Veterans Field here in the regular season. Lost here last time. That was just the 3rd game of the summer. And Chatham scored 5 runs and only 2 hits. As Jackson steps out here, home plate umpire Joseph Labella giving him his second. That mist is held off here entering the 6th inning of play. 2-step lead for Barthel off first, Stanfield off third base. 0-1 to Jackson. Line drive, hot corner, Lodi sweeps and makes the catch. So Bourne strands 2 on Jackson. Another good swing here tonight. But after 5.5 here from Veterans Field, it's the A's 7 and the Braves 3. Bottom 6 coming up here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
The last frame here on the 6th from Veterans Field. Chatham leads Bourne 7-3. And Griffin Hughes on the bump for his first full inning of work. Just faced one batter in bottom of 5. It was a flyout, replacing Preston Prince. And he'll face the top of this Chatham order, Ty Johnson, the lefty. Adam Baylor will step in. Hughes from the windup. First pitch fastballs up top. And Chatham in that 5th inning saw all 9 batters head to the plate on a 6th spot for the A's. Hughes transferring to Miami this coming fall. Glove at his face, first base side of the rubber. 1-0 pitch, and foul tipped into the glove from Johnson to Meggers. Johnson so far 0 for 2. Reached and scored in the 5th. That was a walk that led off the inning. 1-1 from Hughes. Golfing as Johnson out in front. It's 1-2.
And in this inning for Bourne, you're coming off that 6th spot, then you get the leadoff double. You have runners on the corners with 2 outs. Don't get a run home. You have to find a way to not give up anything here and at least give yourself a chance over the final 3 frames.
Both sides with 4 hits. Just Chatham that phenomenal 6th inning. 1-2. And called strike 3. Hughes on the inside corner. Johnson goes down looking. Second time he struck out here tonight. And there's 1 down for the Braves. And at 5th inning for Chatham, 6 runs. Bourne at a 3 spot in the 3rd on a 3-1 lead. Brings up Ashton Larson. 1 for 1 tonight. Has reached base all 3 times. 2 walks in his last 2 ABs. Back-to-back lefties Hughes will face here. First pitch, foul tipped into the glove. No errors for this Bourne defense. That hasn't been a problem here tonight. But we saw the 6 total walks. As the 0-1 just low here from Hughes. It's 1-1.
And usually the good defense means that Bourne is playing much better. They played a pretty good game here tonight other than that 1 inning.
1-1 pitch. Good off speed on the outer half. It's 1-2.
But on the flip side, you could argue that, all right, Bourne really only had that 1 good inning themselves, and it was aided by that error by Lodis at third base.
Makes a huge difference. 1-2. Larson pops it up foul down the third base line. It was Chase Meyer to start, 82 pitches, gave the Braves a chance as more of a bullpen guy on those 4 innings. And Preston Prince, he thought he was out of it with 2 outs, then allowed 6 runs. 1-2. Above the letters once again here to Ashton Larson. Makes the count even. Larson has scored once. That was in the 5th inning. Hughes 2-2. This one jammed in towards the backstop. And Larson stays alive here. 7th pitch of the AB coming up.
And those 2-out struggles for Bourne continue to just get that 3rd out. We saw last week YD score 8 runs in that game at Dorn Park. All 8 came with 2 outs.
2-2. Larson pokes it. Barthel down the left field line. Did he make the catch? No, he didn't. Just going all the way towards foul territory past the Chatham dugout. A solid effort from the Coastal Carolina Hawk corner. But once again, Larson here, a phenomenal AB.
And then here tonight, in that 6th or 5th inning, all 6 runs come with 2 outs. That one in the 1st inning was the 2nd out.
As Hughes, 9th pitch of the AB, popped up high in the air, dark sky, left side of the infield. Barthel sprints in and makes the catch, running onto the mound for out number 2.
It looked like he was going to try and stay there and throw a next pitch here. I mean, he took a few seconds to get off the mound. Hughes was like, this is my spot, buddy. Go back to third base. Thank you so much for the help. But Hughes has looked great so far, and, who knows, maybe that standoff gave him a little bit of extra moxie and confidence out on the mound, knowing he could do anything.
Here's Ike Irish, the lefty catcher. First pitch is low. Hughes, that standoff that came at home when the Bourne Braves 6-0 shutout win over Hyannis. And if you want to know what a standoff means for all you baseball listeners, as the 1-0 outside 2-0, Hughes was in the bullpen in left field the whole entire game after the national anthem with his hat over his heart, standing up the whole entire time, matching the Hyannis bullpen. As he throws the 2-0, ground ball right side. Kozel's there. Corrals throws to first, and it's a 1-2-3 for Griffin Hughes in his first full inning of work. We're through 6 here from Veterans Field. Chatham 7, Bourne 3 here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
I'm Caden Bodine, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Welcome back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network here from Veterans Field. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you. Adam Gotkin will join us in the 8th, our producer here in Jeremy Gay. We always appreciate you joining us for some Bourne Braves baseball. A 7-3 Chatham lead here in top 7. And top of the order for Bourne, Merrick Houston, Cam Kojal, and Chase Meggers to the dish. And Tyler Murphy, the righty, back out for his 4th inning of work. Houston fouls off the first pitch.
This is exactly what Chatham's needed. After Kozera, the starter, only goes 2 2/3. Murphy has been everything that Chatham could have wanted and more, as this Angler pitching staff has completely turned over in the last 4 or 5 days.
Houston a hit tonight and a walk. Went down swinging back in the 4th inning. Murphy back to the stretch. He'll work with that with nobody on. 0-1. Fastball, beautiful spot, low and out. It's a called strike.
There's only 5 pitchers currently on Chatham's roster that were on the roster the last time these two teams squared off.
Such a turnover for this Anglers squad. 0-2, called strike 3. Back to the heater, low and out. 6th punch out for Tyler Murphy out of the pen. And we go to what Chatham has done here in the month of July. They're 9-3 in this month. And as Nathan alluded to, the 12 players that were here back in late June against the Braves, it shows you the culture that Jeremy Scheedinger, Coach Sheets for Chatham has brought to the table, a team that's still consistently winning with a revolving door on their roster. As the lefty Cam Kojal steps in, first pitch strike.
I was listening to one of his interviews the other day, and he said that the players that leave tell the incoming players what the message is for this group.
0-1. Fastball back in the zone for a strike. 0-2 on back-to-back ABs to Houston and Kojal.
But it's very interesting to see the players talk about the atmosphere to the new players coming in instead of it coming from the coach.
Murphy, 0-2, swing and a miss. My God, has he been dominant out of the pen. 7 punch-outs back-to-back in just trying to finish 4 full innings of work here for the Anglers.
And that's what we talked about when he came into the game. His strikeout numbers way down, much less than 1 per inning at Florida Atlantic. And he's got 7 here tonight through 4 innings.
Another lefty, Chase Meggers. Back goes flying. Broken bat. It's going to be caught in left field from Stelly as this bat went to the right side of the Bourne dugout, probably about 10 feet above their dugout off the netting. But either way, that's a 1-2-3 for Tyler Murphy. His 3rd here out of the bullpen. And we'll stretch it out here from Veterans Field. Chatham 7, Bourne 3 on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story. Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
Hello, I'm Cam Kojal, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace at buzzardsbay.com.
We've stretched it out here from Veterans Field. Some kids saying, "Take me out to the ball game," as the Anglers a 7-3 lead over Bourne. Nathan and I were singing along the best we could here, trying to rest our voices. Also not the best singers. I would say I am a very good singer when I have the acoustics in a shower setting. Outside of that, not that great. As the Anglers bring 4-5-6 to the plate, Griffith Hughes back in the bump. And Kraus looks at a first pitch ball. Jayden Kraus 0 for 3 tonight, 3 strikeouts. Hughes from the windup. 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1.
Hughes has looked great so far. Retired all 4 that he's faced. He got Johnson to go down looking.
As the 1-1 out in front once again is Kraus. He almost fell to the righty's batter's box all the way down the left field line. 1-2. 1 strikeout so far for Hughes. The 6th was his first full inning, 1-2-3. This one grounded up the middle. Houston shades it short. He's at the second base bag, and Michelle makes the play at first on the scoop for out number 1. And Hughes has retired his first 5 hitters here to the bullpen.
And what's really interesting about Hughes, right, is the first game he pitches, he goes 2 2/3 against Harwich on the road. Gives up 4 earned runs. Since then, I mean, he's just been dealing, only giving up 1 earned run since. He's through 5 outs here tonight. Could go the rest of the way.
Here's the righty Ivor Arquette. Lines one, deep right field. Jackson back, makes the catch in front of the wall. So a hard hit ball from Arquette, who had the 2 RBI single in the 5th, but Jackson right there in front of the warning track.
And it's been a busy night for Isaiah Jackson. Not only what he's done at the plate, but especially here against Ivor Arquette. That's 2 very good hit line drives that he's had to make plays on in crucial spots of this game.
Now Robin Villeneuve, the righty. First pitch to him is down Main Street. Had the 2-run home run in the 5th inning. That one went to right field down the line. That gave Chatham that 6th spot in the 5th. They lead 7-3 here as the 0-1 is low and outside, a 1-1 count. Hughes now has retired 6 straight, looking for 7, and to have back-to-back 1-2-3s. The righty rocks and deals. 1-1. Heater in there for a strike, and Hughes mowing down with the fastball in the outer half. Works quickly, set and ready to go. From the windup, 1-2, line drive, Michelle right there at first base. Hot corner on either side, and Hughes another 1-2-3. We have finished 7 here from Veterans Field. We're moving along quickly, and the Anglers with a 7-3 lead over the Braves.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
We head to the 8th inning on this Wednesday night from Chatham, way out east, as the Anglers a 7-3 lead over the Braves. And the 8th inning means we're joined by Adam Gotkin with some Cape League scores and a lot of matchups tonight that have meant a lot.
We've got 3 games that have already completed. Starting off, Brewster beat Harwich 7-0. Jake Clemente, probably the best start that we've seen all season. 7 innings. He gave up just 1 hit. YD beat Wareham 4-1. That was a matchup between the 2 best teams in the league. Trevor Moore got his league-leading 7th save of the season. Orleans against Cotuit, that was a 6-5 Kettleers victory. Cotuit had a no-hitter going into the 6th inning. Orleans ended the game with 8 hits. And finally, the only game that's still going on right now, other than this one, Falmouth leads Hyannis 3-0 in the top of the 8th, but the Harbor Hawks do have 2 on with no outs.
And if Falmouth wins that game, they'll become 1 win closer to taking over Bourne in that 4th place spot. Cotuit at home against Orleans. They finish 9 innings of play. As those games now with the Cats, that one was still a 5 p.m. start, but hopefully moving to 4:30 soon. But they finished 9. As it's 4-5-6 for the Braves. Here's Tristan Becerra. First pitch, head comes out, a wave and a miss.
That might be the first time Cotuit has finished a 9-inning game at home this summer.
Very possible. They played 6 innings a few nights ago. That one not at Lowell Park. As Becerra, 0-1 from Murphy. Out in front once again. Another pitch, middle.
Only played 5.5 against Bourne about a week and a half ago. Mouse way to end that one.
We've harped on that and how that will change here down the stretch. These games moving to earlier time slots, 4 and 4:30 with the teams with no lights. 5th inning of work here for Tyler Murphy. 0-2 count here on Becerra. And this one low and in on the breaking ball. Becerra's 0 for 2. Walked back in the first, E5 and reached in the third, and a ground out in the 5th. 5th game of his summer, 3 RBIs and a home run. Murphy from the stretch. Long look in. 1-2. Becerra a liner. Left center field. Down in the gap. Could be dangerous. Rolls towards the wall. Ty Johnson picks it up. So Becerra back to first base on a phenomenal throw from the Baylor outfielder. But Becerra, his first hit here tonight, goes left center field. And the Braves back-to-back innings, or not back-to-back innings, 6th and the 8th inning, now with leadoff base runners.
And Becerra, wow. That one had extra base hit written all over it. 3-0-2 to the left center field gap going the other way. 98 off the bat. But what a read by Ty Johnson to the gap. And then he's able to cut that one off and make an unbelievable throw to keep Becerra to just a single.
Chris Stanfield shows bunt, pulls back. He was the leadoff base runner I was alluding to in the 6th. Leadoff double on the first pitch down the left field line. Bourne did not score in the inning. Stanfield stranded at third base. And Barthel also got on. Bourne had first and third. 1-0 to Stanfield. Ground ball left side at third base. Lodis picks it up on to second for 1. Davis to first. Double play. 5-4-3 just like that. As quick as you can turn it. And there's 2 down here in top 8.
And Stanfield slipped coming out of the box. Didn't get a great jump. And had a lot of ground to make up on a very slow developing 5-4-3 double play. And any momentum that Bourne was thinking about getting right there goes to the wayside.
Garrett Michelle, the lefty here with 2 down. And Murphy, he's been dealing. Michelle first pitch deep to left center field. Johnson back at the wall, and it's gone. Out in a hurry, Garrett Michelle. Second home run of his summer, just over the left field center lining. And he makes it a 3-run game on the solo blast.
102 miles an hour off the bat, 376 feet, a scraper over the wall for Garrett Michelle, the second opposite field home run that he's had this summer. And imagine how different this game would be if Chris Stanfield doesn't slip out of the box. You rarely see him ground out into a double play.
Mason Neville, first pitch swinging. Braves in the 7th spot in their order. But Michelle also first pitch swinging. And as Nathan said, could be more dangerous if Becerra was on. And that one just smoked out in a hurry to left center field. 0-1 to Neville. Another drive deep to center field. Johnson's back at the warning track, and he makes the catch. In front of the wall in center field. And that ends the threat here in top 8. But Bourne gets 1 on Garrett Michelle's laser to left center field. That makes it a 3-run game. Bottom 8 coming up here from Veterans Field.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Garrett Michelle gets 1 back for his second home run of the summer in the top of the 8th inning. We head to the bottom half here from Veterans Field. A 7-4 Chatham lead over Bourne in their 3rd meeting of the summer. And the A's a few outs away of winning 5 straight and moving to 10-3 in the month of July. Bourne in a spot here where they could lose 3 straight and move to 6-1 in this month. 7-8-9 for Chatham. Kyle Lodise, Jaden Davis, and Caleb Stelly in the batter's box. And Griffin Hughes back in the bump here. The righty out of Miami has been solid so far. Back-to-back 1-2-3s. Has retired every hitter he has seen. First pitch to the righty in Lodise. It's a chin music up and inside. Has put down the first 7 batters that have come here to home plate at Chatham. 1-0. Breaking ball low and outside. It's in there for a strike. Lodise is 0 for 2. Walked and scored on the 5th. That was Chatham's 6th spot. 1-1. Lodise at Chopper at third base. Barthel's there. Charges. Sidearm throw to first. And they got Lodise by a step. And make it 8 here for Hughes in bottom 8.
That's been the best relief appearance you could argue for Bourne this entire summer. It would rival what Justin West was able to do a couple of weeks ago against Brewster. Of course, that one didn't end the way he wanted to, giving up the solo home run that wound up winning Brewster the game.
Another righty in Jaden Davis. First pitch swinging and knobs it foul first base side.
But for Hughes, 2 2/3 now. He's retired all 8 that he's seen. And you just wonder if the Bourne staff went to Hughes instead of Prince, how different this game would be.
0-1. That's a high fastball. And Davis just ducking out of the way. He had a solo homer that was, or 2-run shot, that was way gone to left center field. Back in that 5th inning for the Anglers. Hughes rocks and deals. 1-1 fouled off and out of play down the first base line.
And you hate to assume, but if Hughes comes into that game in the 5th instead of Prince and has this same stuff, Bourne's in a really good spot right now, and that Michelle home run would have been insurance.
And Bourne has 2 more hits than Chatham. 6 for the Braves, 4 for the Anglers. As Hughes steps off here. Whole plate ump being Joseph Labella. Calling time for a quick second and reminding Hughes on the quick pitch. Hughes has worked so quickly on the bump. Now gives Davis a second. Hughes set. Play ball called. 1-2. Upstairs, did he get the sword? And they check down. No, he did not. Mike Hinojosa at first base said that Davis held up. That bat barrel very close from the righty's batter's box. 3 RBIs tonight for Davis. Had an RBI ground out in the 2nd for the rising junior at Vanderbilt. Hughes 2-2. Up and in once again. 3 straight fastballs from the righty. 7-4 Chatham. 3-2-1 away here in bottom 8. Nobody on. The righty rocks and deals. Breaking ball, line. Houston can't grab it at shortstop. Rolls into left center field. Big turn for Davis. He's motoring to second base. Jackson's throw the relay. Not in time. Houston cut it off. Kojal was there. And Houston cut it off about 10 feet from Kojal at the bag. Had to flip it to him. You think if the shortstop and the Demon Deacon lets it roll, maybe Kojal there as the tag on a phenomenal throw in the outfield from Jackson.
And that's where the communication comes into play. You don't know whether Houston didn't hear Kojal if he was talking, whether Kojal was talking at all. And right there, you're probably right, Cam. If that ball is let go by Houston, it's probably going to be a tag out at second base.
First batter on that Hughes is allowed. It's a double as Caleb Stelly, the righty, goes fishing on the first pitch on a check swing. Stelly's 0 for 3, struck out in the 4th inning. One of the 5 punch-outs from Meyer, the starting pitcher. As Nathan alluded to, Preston Prince was just 2/3 on 6 runs. Actually, a 1-0 count. Stelly held up. And now the count is 2-0. Six hits for the Braves, 5 for the Anglers. As Hughes sets a long look at second base, and the pitch is fouled back. Scoreboard says 2-0. Looks like it should be a 1-2 count. That's what it will be as the home plate umpire points up towards the press box. So 1-2, 1 away helps out Hughes here as Stelly definitely went around on that first pitch. It's Davis off second base with a big lead. Kojal holding him on. From the stretch is Hughes. 1-2, swing and a miss, drop third strike. towards the backstop. Meggers can't pick it up. No play at first base. So Stelly will reach base. And advancing 90 feet is Davis. So Chatham runners on the corners with one down here in the bottom of the 8th.
That'll be a pass ball likely for Meggers. That ball just pops and then out of the glove, goes all the way to the backstop. And you think you get out number 2 there. You think you could have had out number 2 at second base if that ball gets let go. So instead of that being potentially the third out, now you got to deal with runners on the corners and hope you can get a ground ball or a couple of strikeouts here to make sure Chatham doesn't get one more.
Top of the lineup, the lefty and Ty Johnson. First pitch stealing here is Stelly, and he's going to be safe easily. No throw from Meggers. Meggers looked at third base. Smart call, and the aggressiveness could have been there for Davis off third. So it's second and third, one down, an 0-1 count to Johnson. He's 0 for 3, walked and scored on the 5th as the leadoff man. Infield in for the Braves. 0-1, and it's blooped foul down the left field line. So that game tomorrow with this Falmouth now 3-2 game. Hyannis with a 2 spot in the bottom of the 8th. But Bourne will play at the Gov tomorrow against the Commodores. Falmouth could come in with 9 wins. The Braves with 10 in such a crucial spot for 4th place. Hughes 0-2, up the ladder, swing and a miss. Johnson strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Second punch out for Hughes, and there's 2 down.
And now that game at the Gov, 3-2. Hyannis trying to claw their way back into this. So that could be huge for Bourne if the Harbor Hawks could find a way to pull one out in top 9, maybe even send that game to extra innings.
2 down, the lefty Ashton Larson. First pitch breaking ball in there for a strike from Hughes. Would be big here to work out of this, give the Braves a chance. We'll have 3 outs to work with in top 9. Hughes rocks and deals up top, went to the fastball. It's 1-1. Larson out of LSU, 298 hitter this spring. 1 for 2 tonight, singled, 2 walks, popped out to third in the 6th. Hughes wants 1 pitch. Fastball low and in. Just missed. It's 2-1. This Chatham squad during this 4-game winning streak have outscored teams 34-23. A lot of close battles here tonight, a 3-run game. 2-1. Well, outside, 3-1. And their pitching staff has been phenomenal. 4.12 ERA. That's second on the Cape. Second in whip at a 1.35. Have relied on that pitching. As Nathan said, a lot of changes, though, to that pitching staff and this offense. 3-1. And poking in on the breaking ball low once again is Hughes. 5-pitch walk, Larson to first. Bases loaded for the A's, and here's Ike Irish.
You just feel like this would be the knockout punch for Chatham here if they were even able to get 1 run. Because this Bourne team so far tonight, only that 1 big inning and that big swing by Michelle in top 8.
First pitch to the lefty Irish. That off-speed pitch in there at the knees. That's been a first pitch go-to for Hughes. 0 for 2 is Irish, has walked twice. One of the 6 runs to score in the 5th. Hughes from the stretch. 0-1. Fastball at the knees. It's a called strike. And Hughes 1 strike away from getting through the 8th inning. The Braves will bring 8-9-1 to the plate. Barthel, Jackson, and Houston. 0-2. Way up top. First team All-SEC for Ike Irish. We've talked to him a lot here tonight. Coming off a 2 for 3 against Falmouth. No hits here tonight. Hughes. 1-2. Swing and a miss. But a drop third strike once again to the backstop. Meggers can't pick it up, and a run is going to score. And this inning continues to keep going. It's 8-4 Chatham. As Jaden Davis just waltzes into home plate. And Hughes, the second time this inning, a drop third strike on a tough play, but off the glove of Meggers both times.
Yeah, and you probably just got to chalk that up to Meggers not catching these guys before. He did pretty good with Meyer and Prince, but here with Hughes in the 8th, just something not there.
Jayden Krause, the righty, will keep things going. Ground ball at third base. Barthel picks it up, goes to the short way at second to Kojal, and that ends the inning. But this Chatham squad, they get one more, and that could be deadly here. Now a 4-run game. The Braves, 3 outs to work with top 9 coming up. It's 8-4 Chatham here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com.
Hi, I'm Adonis Guzman, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Bourne trails by 4 here on the top of the 9th from Veterans Field. Looking to snap a 2-game skid, but Chatham looking to win 5 straight. And they'll give the ball to Malachi Witherspoon here on the bump, the rising junior out of Oklahoma. It will be his 7th appearance of the summer, and he'll take the ball in so far a 7.5 ERA. And he'll face 8-9-1 for the Braves, Barthel, Jackson, and Houston here. As the Braves offense, more hits than Chatham here tonight, but the Anglers the better story on an 8-4 lead.
Yeah, it's that 6-run spot in that bottom half of the 5th inning, all with 2 outs. They get the 2-run single from Arquette, the two-run homers by Villeneuve and Davis. And sometimes that's all you need, just one big inning to take down your opponent.
The Oklahoma Sooner, the righty, will step on the rubber. First base side as Barthel, the lefty, will step in. Tough night here as some fans will roll out and be happy with a Chatham W if the Braves can't crawl back. Barthel first pitch swinging. He fouls it back. Witherspoon at 6'2", 211. We talked about him the last time these two teams faced off, a transfer from Northwest Florida State College. And now with Oklahoma. From the stretch, and the 0-1 to Barthel. Ground ball, first base side and foul. Jackson on the on-deck circle actually had to leap over the baseball. He's had a good night.
Agility. Man, that's what you train for right there, to get the vertical jump, get out of the way of the foul ball, and then, just continue to take your hacks and step up to the plate for the 4th time here in a couple seconds.
0-2 count quickly to the 8th spot in Barthel. Witherspoon. Fastball just misses up and out. 22 1/3 innings this spring, a 5.64 ERA. Did have 29 strikeouts to just 10 walks. Barthel's 0 for 2 here tonight. 1-2 pitch, and the breaking ball just misses. The looping curve comes in. It's 2-2. Walked back in the 6th inning was Barthel. And then Jackson, who's been hot, a line out, a home run, and a walk tonight will follow. Witherspoon, the highlight kick. 2-2. Barthel lines it foul on the first base line and continues this AB. The Braves back in action tomorrow at 6 at the Gov against Falmouth in a crucial game. Falmouth right now a 1-run lead over Hyannis. And his Chatham squad inching closer to YD in the East Division. 2-2 count. Barthel chokes up, Witherspoon set. And another pitch that misses outside. Good AB here for Barthel and what could be and likely will be the last AB of his night. Normal depth here for the Chatham defense. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Barthel checks swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Drop third strike. Irish to throw to first base. Not going to be there. So anyway on here in the ninth for the Braves and Blake Barthel, no matter what, whether it was a strike call or a walk, Barthel would be at first base. And now Isaiah Jackson will step in here with nobody out.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't see a strike call by our home plate umpire. It looks like it's going to be ruled a swing and a miss and the first strikeout for Witherspoon and then advancing on the passed ball, but I didn't see a signal. But either way, it'll be a base runner at first base for the Bravos.
No signal, but that's what the score says. Swing and a miss from Barthel, heads to first base. Here's the Sun Devil and the lefty in Jackson. First pitch, he's swinging, goes up top. It's 1-1. The solo shot for Jackson in the third to lead things off. That was a 3 spot for the Braves. Walked in the fourth, a line out in the sixth. Has seen the ball well here tonight. 8-4 Chatham lead. Witherspoon's 0-1 pitch. Spiked in the dirt. It's 1-1.
And let's just talk about Murphy and what he was able to do tonight. 5 1/3 is the final number. 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He essentially worked off of what wound up being an opener type of role for Kozera. And how about that? Your first appearance on the Cape, you go 5 1/3 and shut down a really good Bourne lineup.
And his first 4 outs were all strikeouts. Came in for that last out in the third and then kept things going here for the A's. Pitch to Jackson. Another drive. Center field and deep. But Johnson under it at the warning track in left center field. Barthel back to first base. There's 1 down. But we talked about the struggles for Isaiah Jackson coming in, a 121 hitter. He's seen the ball very well tonight. There's been the 2 hard outs and then the home run.
Yeah, you only get the 1 hit to show for it, but the line drive to the third baseman in Lodis, which could have been extra bases right there. He hits one to straightaway center field. It goes 346 feet. And probably the best night for Jackson at the plate since opening day.
Top of the order in the Demon Deacon and Merrick Houston. Look out as the duck at the first pitch from Witherspoon. Houston has struck out his last 2 ABs, kept his hit streak alive in the third, and then walked to lead off this game. The righty back of the box, Barthel off first base with a 1 away. Witherspoon a long look, 1-0. Houston a chopper foul into the Chatham dugout on the third base side. Houston went 3 for 4 last night, came in hitting .341. Now 15 walks on his summer. Has done a good job in this leadoff role. Coming back from Team USA 2 nights back was the best performance we've seen him have since coming back. 1-1 pitch to Houston. Comes inside. Did it clip him? Yes, it did. Joseph LaBella, the home plate umpire, said it clipped Houston on the jersey. So gives the Braves a break. First and second with a 1 away here in the top of the ninth. Cam Kojal steps in. Chatham a 4-run game, but the Braves now that tying run in the on-deck circle.
And never say never. You never know. Down by 4. You get that big run by Michelle in the 8th. And, you know, that drop third strike might come back to bite you here if you can put together a little bit of a rally.
The Razorback and Kojal, 0 for 4 here tonight, 2 strikeouts. The wide lefty stance, Witherspoon. First pitch, Kojal out in front. Last time Kojal was here in 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Another 0 for 4 here tonight, so 0 for 8 so far this summer at Veterans Field. Barthel off second base, Houston off first. And the 0-1 pitch, chin music up and inside. Big spot here for Witherspoon out of the pen. We talked about what Tyler Murphy was able to do. Fantastic performance for the Chatham righty as they look to win 5 straight. Hottest team on the Cape here at the moment. Glove at the belt, 1-1 pitch, Kojal a broken bat, and down the right field line and foul. So Kojal will get a new piece of lumber here before the 1-2. But this Brave squad a chance to drop 3 straight games. Now going to be a 500 team in July once again. They've been playing a lot of 500 baseball outside of that 3-game win streak.
And, you get that 3-game win streak, you think things are turning up, and then you immediately follow that up by getting rid of all that progress you seem to make by losing the next 3. And that sets up a huge game against Falmouth tomorrow. Right now, the Commodores still hanging on to that 1-run lead, top of the 9th. Hyannis has the tying run on base. But tomorrow could be a game that really tells you a whole lot about Bourne and the way this summer is going if they were to lose to Falmouth.
A new black bat for Kojal. 2 runners on, a 1-2 with 1 away. Witherspoon kicks and fires. Off speed just above the Braves' letters. And Bourne on that 3-game win streak, we said it 28 hits, 21 runs. Your last 2 games, you scored 2 runs combined on some solid pitching. Here tonight got out of hand with Preston Prince. Witherspoon fires in the 2-2 pitch, spits in the off speed, just low. Below the knees of Kojal, it's going to be a full count. That tying run on deck in Chase Meggers. Just arrived here for the Braves. First night in a Bravos uniform. Bartholoff second, Houston off first base. No one holding on Houston. 3-2 in the attic. Ball 4. Base is juiced here in the 9th for the Braves. No mound visit at the moment here from Eric Beatty and the Anglers as Chase Meggers, the lefty, will step in. Tying run at the dish.
And that will bring Beatty out to the mound. And like I go back to that play in the bottom half of the 8th inning. You get that strike 3. You think it's going to end the inning. Instead, it's a pass ball. The 8th run comes home for Chatham. And now instead of it being 1 out and the go-ahead run coming to the plate, it's the tying run. Who knows if Bourne's actually going to get it to that point. But we're going to wait a little longer to see as Witherspoon's going to come out of this game.
New righty coming in here for the A's in a big spot. 1 away, bases juiced. Chatham a 4-run lead, but Meggers the tying run in the box when you return on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. The night is done for Malachi Witherspoon and Hayden Murphy here for Chatham on the bump. 1 out, bases loaded for the righty out of Auburn. Stands at 6'4", 203. It's his 8th appearance of the summer. A 2-1 record with a solid 3.52 ERA. And looks to shut the door here. Double play intact. But Chase Meggers in the box here. He's the tying run in a 4-run game.
And it's not the first time Murphy's going to face this Bourne lineup this summer. He went 3 innings, not giving up a hit or a run or walking anybody, and striking out 6 in that win back on the 17th for the Anglers. 3 innings in that one for Murphy, and now on to try and save this game for the A's.
The lefty and Meggers steps in here in the 9th. First pitch, swing and a miss on a huge hack from Meggers. They could have tied this game. 1 hit for Meggers here tonight, on a 1 for 4. His first hit here on Cape Cod. Every base occupied, Murphy from the stretch, glove at his belt. 0-1 pitch, another big hack from Meggers. Behind on the fastball, quickly 0-2.
Yeah, he's swinging for the fences right here. That's the clear strategy right now for the Oregon Duck. His head is all the way in the Bourne bullpen after both of those swings. Keep in mind, you just got to chip away at this lead. You don't need it all at once.
Third pitch coming up here from Murphy out of the pen. And it's up and outside. Meggers holds off. Kojal off first base with a walk. Houston hit by a pitch. He's off second base. And Barthel dropped third strike. He got on. He's on third. 8-4 Chatham. 1-2, 1 away. Pitch to Meggers. Goes up the ladder. Swing and a miss. Out number 2. Few pitches out of the bullpen for Murphy. Gets his first punch out. And the Anglers 1 out away from a 5-game win streak.
And it will be Becerra here for Bourne. We were thinking maybe there would be a pinch hitter. Braden Holcomb, Ethan Conrad both got the day off, but Becerra smoking the ball his last time up. Going to get a chance to keep this game alive for the Bravos.
And it makes sense. A lefty in the box on a righty. Becerra the one-swing ability. That's what you need right here. Has a hit here tonight. First pitch to the lefty. Fastball down Main Street. Has reached 3 times here in this one. Braves have had the trouble stranding runners coming into this game. 16 in 2 games coming in. Tonight, not a lot better. Murphy's 0-1. Becerra, another big hack. Behind on that fastball. That same issue to Meggers, and the Chatham crowd on their feet. 0-2, 2 away. Here in the 9th from Veterans Field. Becerra waves the bat. Now sets up. Murphy set. 0-2. And not chasing up top is Becerra. What a gapper or one swing could do right now. Murphy out of the pen, and a bullpen that's done a good job here tonight for the Anglers. One pitch to send it to 5 straight. And there it is. Becerra down swinging. 5 straight wins for Chatham. They're 10-3 here in July and move to 15-11. The Braves will fall to 10-14-2. Further back for Wareham in that top spot. Now 7.5 back in the West Division. 8-4 your final here from Veterans Field. Chatham uses a 6th spot, and they take down Bourne in their 3rd meetings of the summer.
And just a game that, Bourne had. They had that 3-run inning back in the top half of the 3rd. You see Isaiah Jackson go yard. You got a couple of helping hands by Chatham with that Kyle O'Deese error, and then, with the sac fly by Stanfield, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. And then things are moving along, and then Preston Prince comes into the game, walks the bases loaded to start. You thought he might get out of it in that 5th inning, but Chatham, this is what they do so well, hit with 2 outs and have these big innings. They get 6 runs with 2 outs with Arquette, Villeneuve, and Davis each driving in 2 apiece, and that's when you just really felt the deflation in the Bourne dugout. All that energy and momentum they had just went away. Even with Michelle hitting that solo homer in the 8th, you thought maybe there's a chance, but at the end of the day, Bourne going to drop a 3rd game in a row.
And that moved to 6-1 here in July. And you brought up Preston Prince. That's a part of this game. But also, you look at this Braves offense once again. Here tonight, it was really just 1 inning. You score 3 runs in the 3rd. That's not going to be enough to beat a team like Chatham. Michelle gives you 1 swing in the 8th inning, but you had runners on before that. The double play hurts you as well. Bourne, the consistent offense through 9 innings. Once again, we go back to the first 14 days. That bug is back once again.
Yeah, and another 9 runners left on base tonight for the Bravos. Those came in just 4 innings, but it was 3 times they left 2 runners on base, and that 9th they strand the bases loaded. And I don't know, it's just a lot of the same for Bourne, a lot of losses that have just happened in the same way. And for this Bourne team, there's not a lot of time left to figure it out with Falmouth right behind you.
25 runners stranded in your last 3 games. Falmouth behind the Braves by now just 1 win in the West Division. Top 4 teams make the playoffs, and we're 2/3 through this Cape League season. So Bourne hopeful to figure it out tomorrow night at the Gov, 6 p.m. first pitch. But we'll say our goodbyes here tonight from Veterans Field for our producer, Jeremy Gay, always doing an amazing job, our Sideline reporter in Adam Gotkin, my great partner in Nathan Schwartz. I'm Cam Manna saying so long, way out east here in Chatham. The Anglers victorious over the Braves, 8-4.